Hello, football fans, and welcome to this broadcast of Lamar Viking Varsity Football, brought to you by the Lamar Viking Football Booster Club. I'm Bill Frawley. With me, of course, is Joe Toronto. I'll be doing play-by-play. Joe providing all the color commentary. Tonight, we have the Mansfield Tigers at the Lamar Vikings at Cravens Field here on Lamar campus in Arlington, Texas. Joe, how are you tonight?
Doing great today, Bill.
Well, it's kind of a cloudy night. There's a lot of wind off and on. Just a little while ago, we saw some flags down at the ground level that were kind of blowing straight, and we were watching some of the kickers. It wasn't affecting them at that time, but there's a chance for some wind to affect the game tonight, possibly.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to have an effect in the passing game, and unfortunately for Lamar, Mansfield is basically a running team, so that may not have as much of an effect on Mansfield as it will on Lamar.
Well, that Mansfield team has a stable of running backs, Joe. Going back to last year, I went down to Mansfield and watched the varsity game down there, and it was their running backs that really kind of picked apart our defense. Last night, I announced the pair of freshman football games, and each team had two spectacular running backs that were almost impossible to bring down. Tonight, we've got some running backs that you're going to talk about some stats here in a few minutes. Just a little bit of history on the Mansfield and the Lamar series. Lamar leads the series 10-4. But Mansfield's 4 victories have come within the last 6 meetings. The Vikings have won 5 of the last 6 at Cravens Field, where we are tonight, of course. Last week, the Vikings fell from the ranks of the undefeated district play with a 31-23 loss to Arlington High. We were here for that one. Came down to the last minute. Mansfield ran its district winning streak to 19 consecutive with a 27-16 victory over Martin. Joe, what do you have for us for your keys to the game and some stats and whatever you want to show?
Right, I think there are 3 keys to the game, and one is, as you've just already mentioned, is stop the run. Mansfield is essentially a running team. They are averaging 240 yards per game. They've got 3 very capable running backs. One of them being K.J. Hawkins, the other one being Jaquilius Coleman, and the other one being Avery Chapman. All 3 of them are very capable of busting a big run at any time. Mansfield has really only completed 44 passes in their first 6 games, and if you do the math, they're only averaging 8 passes per game. So stopping the run is essential. The second key to the game, I think, is prevent the explosive play. Because when they don't run, and they do pass, have had some explosive pass plays. One of their main receivers has their wideout Jackson Gleason is averaging 30 yards on each of his catches. So when they do pass the ball, you've got to prevent that explosive play. And the third key, I think, is Lamar's got to protect the quarterback. Mansfield has 16 sacks already, and they've got 11 defensive players that all of them have a sack. So they can get to the quarterback and are very capable of getting to Jack Dawson. So it's going to be imperative for Lamar and the offensive line of Lamar to protect Jack Dawson if Lamar is going to have any kind of passing attack in this game. And of course, that's going to be affected by the wind that we've already talked about. So I think those are the keys to the game tonight.
Well, we saw Jack Dawson having to scramble quite a few times last week against Arlington High School here at Cravens Field, and that close one. So you're right, Joe. The offensive line's going to have to step up. Now, defensively, against the run and the pass, we've got at least three what I'm going to call headhunters out there. Caden Tresh, Sam Townsend, and then Caden Hidawi, who plays more defensive back. But that guy can key on the ball. He will go laterally across the field and chase someone down to make a tackle or a touchdown-saving tackle. He's come in and blocked some punts before. He's coming real close to blocking some either extra points or field goals. Sam Townsend, he's a madman. He plays that kind of middle linebacker, I guess, and he's always ready to shoot the gap, sometimes spying on the quarterback. But, yeah, I think those 3 guys, as well as some others, Bobby Brown, I think is going to be suited up again tonight, hopefully. And those are some of the guys who can be key to stopping that running game.
Yeah, and Caden Hidawi's got tremendous speed, and, you can see that if there is someone from a running back from Mansfield that does break away, Caden Hidawi has the speed to chase him down. And we saw that last week. He was able to make some tackles in the open field that other players just aren't able to do because of his speed.
Yeah, definitely so. And I'll tell you, now offensively for the Vikings, we've got Michael Bradley leading our charge on offense. He's got 69 carries, 357 yards, so he's averaging just over 5 yards every time he touches the ball. And then Desmond Moultrie, 58 carries, 242 yards. He's averaging a little over 4 yards per carry. So we've got our pair of running backs as well, and then our fleet of receivers, if you will. Trayvon West, of course, Dayton Dubs, and Jalen Jones. And then Matthew Shaw, as always, I kind of think of him as sort of that secret weapon out in the flats.
Exactly. I think that, you know, people tend to forget about Matthew Shaw, but I think of him as kind of the steady guy that's there. And if you need him, you can always go to Matthew Shaw. You know, you've got explosive guys like Trayvon West and Jalen Jones, but Shaw is really kind of the steady Eddie in the lineup as far as the core receivers goes.
Sure enough. And then, of course, our special teams, you know, we're going to have to be really good at covering kickoffs and punts. We're going to have to, again, avoid the explosive return and not give up a lot of yards and provide the Mansfield offense with a short field after any of those situations.
Absolutely.
Well, Joe, the coin toss is about to occur at the middle of the field. We've got our captains. It looks like we've got out there as captains for us this week are going to be number 10. That's Dayton Dubs, and then number 5, Caden Hadawi, that we were just talking about. Number 68, Graham Eads, and then number 20, Caden Tresh. So they're out there with the Mansfield captains ready for the coin toss. And I think we're calling heads I win, tails you lose. I'm not sure. And we won. And we're deferring to the second half. So, the Lamar Vikings did win the coin toss. Go ahead,
well,
Joe.
Now it's going to be the test for the defense and to see whether or not they can actually stop that explosive running game. And so we're going to get to see that right away.
Definitely so. Good chance to step up. So Lamar's going to Lamar's going to kick, and we're going to be defending the south end zone. So if you're kind of picturing a football field, looking at your phone, computer screen, whatever, Lamar will be moving right to left, Mansfield moving left to right. And in just a few moments, we're going to hear the teams coming out onto the fields. The Mansfield band just a little while ago played their alma mater. We'll have that from the Lamar band and, of course, the national anthem. And in just a little over, 2 or 3 minutes, we should be underway pretty quickly. Joe, I don't know if we've ever talked about it before. Now, some people think the Arlington ISD logo circle dot out in the middle of the field is kind of interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Anyway, we'll come back to that in a minute about the white dot in the field. But here come the Lamar Vikings onto the field, led by the student council officers, Thor Corps, and the cheerleaders. Bobby Brown, number 29, is suited up. I see him out there.
Well, that's going to definitely help the defense. Last week they had difficulty stopping the run against the Arlington Colts, so having Bobby Brown back in the lineup is a positive note for the Vikings.
Yeah, I like seeing this. I don't know if I've noticed it before. I see Coach DeLay's son, Austin DeLay, going through and just kind of patting as many of the players on the back as he could. Well, you know, they all come out and take that knee, and I think that's kind of a cool thing to see.
Looking over at the Mansfield side, they definitely have some size. They are a very...
They're carnivores.
Yeah. They're tigers.
Yeah. No, I went down there to get a pronunciation of one of the names. They were doing some line drills, hitting drills. And I went over to talk to a couple of guys and one of the trainers, and I realized every one of these linemen is a big guy. So, yeah.
Well, they had a difficult game last week with Martin. It's they ended up pulling it out.
Well, we're getting close to being ready for the national anthem, and when that comes on, after the Lamar band plays their fight song, we will turn down our mics and turn up ambient all the way so you can hear that.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I direct your attention, please, to the flag at the north end of the field.
As you sing along to our national anthem, remember those who lead us, those who teach us, and especially those who protect us tonight as we enjoy Friday night football. Ladies and gentlemen, our Lamar band playing the national anthem. The Mansfield Tigers take on the Lamar Vikings.
Well, and there we have it, the national anthem played by the Lamar High School Viking Band. And we're just probably less than a minute or so from kickoff out here. Joe, any last-minute observations, predictions, thoughts before we get underway?
I think that this first possession is going to be a crucial one to see how this game is going to go, because we're going to see whether or not, as we pointed out, they can stop the run and force the Tigers to try to throw the ball, which I think that they're a little bit uncomfortable in doing. So this is going to be a key for a series of downs.
Well, we've got Juan Villegas, of course, out there set to kick off. We've only got one man deep for the Tigers, and that's going to be number 17, who's not on the roster. So our tradition is we'll call him Anderson. There's what's become a tradition also. Juan Villegas kind of stutter steps up like he's going to do a quick onside kick, but he doesn't. He steps back. Everyone's on the 35-yard line for the coverage team. And we are underway at Cravens Field. It's a kickoff that's going to go back to the 4-yard line. It's fumbled him up by number 17. He picks it up, breaks through a couple of guys to the 10, and then he gets hit. Now he's going to reverse course. He's breaking tackles, but unfortunately when he reversed course, he went back. Now, this is interesting, Joe. I thought he changed direction on his own, evading tackles. They're giving him forward progress all the way out to the 5.5 or 6 yard line.
Yeah, that's an interesting call, but nevertheless, it's still great field position for the Vikings as far as keeping them, at the 5-yard line and pinning them back. That was. The fumble just threw the timing off completely, and the Vikings were able to, get down there and on the kick coverage and make a nice stop.
Well, the Tigers are going to start off 1st and 10 at their own 6-yard line. It's going to be a pitch back to number 32. He's going to come up the middle over the left guard, and he's going to basically just go back to the line of scrimmage.
About 5. I think he picked up about 5 yards.
Oh, he did. I apologize. Thank you. I was looking through my binoculars and missed one of those. You're right, Joe. He got about a 5-yard gain out to the 11, so he'll bring up 2nd and 5. And that was number 32, Avery Chapman, who you mentioned in the pregame, Joe, as one of their leading rushers.
He is their leading rusher, and he's got almost 600 yards rushing this season, so he's someone to watch.
We've got twins left, single right, one in the backfield with the quarterback. He steps back, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. It was intended for number 20, Grayson Tatro. Now Sam Townsend, number 13, was Johnny on the spot, helping to break up that play.
It's third down.
So, Joe, that's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 at the 11-yard line. Big 3rd down here for the Viking defense early.
Right, if they can get off the field right here, it's going to give the Viking offense good position.
Tailbacks, Owens, number 21, number 30.
Well, you can see some blitz possibly coming from the Vikings. Here's a pitch back. It's at the 5. He's going to be caught behind the line of scrimmage back around the 7-yard line. Loss of 4 yards, and Joe, 4th down and long.
They did a nice job in penetrating that time and really getting to the ball carrier before he got a chance to make any kind of cut to get any kind of yardage at all.
Well, that leads to 4th down, and they're not going to score on their opening drive.
Well, and he's going to have to, obviously they're going to be punting from their own end zone, and so we've got the Vikings back at around their own the Tigers 42, 43-yard line, so it should be a good field position for the Vikings.
Gleason to punt.
So Gleason punts. He's running around, does that rugby-style kick. It goes almost straight up in the air. Not a very deep punt. It takes a Tiger roll at the 35 to the 36-yard line in Tiger territory.
All the way down to the 37-yard.
So that's only about a 28-yard punt, Joe. Like you said, the Vikings starting off with great field position for the first drive. And I think that's some of the wind. One of our spotters, Tim, letting us know, yeah, I think the wind might have had something to do. That punt got high enough that it got caught. You may have to do some more knuckleball lower ones. All right, the Viking offense is out there. We got twin receiver left, single right. It's going to be a fake handoff to Bradley. He throws out to the left side to 32-yard line. That's going to be Matthew Shaw with the reception at the 26-yard line.
Gain of 11 yards.
That's an 11-yard gain to the 26, and Joe, that's a 1st down on the first play for the Vikings.
And we talked about Matthew Shaw earlier in the broadcast, and he made a nice play on that.
Got twins right, single left, Jalen Jones in motion. It's a handoff to Bradley up the middle, goes over the right guard across the 25. He's going to have forward progress to about the 23-yard line, it looks like. So gain of about 3 yards there, being up 2nd down and 7.
Number 45 on the stop, Cade Fletcher.
The tackler for the Tigers is number 45, Cade Fletcher. There's some really good blocking on the right side of the line that time, Joe.
Yeah, it opened up a nice haul for Bradley. Nice hole for Bradley to go through.
One of those guys down there is Sinachuli Tahama on the Viking offensive line. We got twins right. Now we've got Shaw in motion. It's a handoff to Brad. No, it's not. It's a pass over the middle, in and out of the hands of number 19, Trayvon West. It looked like a pretty good fake handoff to Bradley.
Yeah, it was a nice play fake, and we had the receiver cutting across on like a slant, and he had him open. And he just unfortunately was not able to hold on to the ball.
Well, that's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 for the Vikings at the Tiger 23-yard line, moving right to left if you're looking at a computer screen or phone. We've got stacked receivers right, twins left, Bradley in the backfield behind Dawson. Now Shaw's in motion. He's scrambling around a little bit. He throws the ball over to the right-hand side, just out of bounds. And there's a flag on the play.
As intended for Dubs, number 10, incomplete.
It's going to be an incomplete pass, and we're going to see what this penalty flag is about in the offensive backfield. I don't know if they're checking to see if that would be an intentional grounding call or not. He did throw it away as he was scrambling. He was out of this. Oh, it's going to be holding against the Vikings. That explains why he had a little bit of that extra time. So they're going to decline that penalty and bring up 4th and 7 instead of 3rd and 17. And it looks like we're going to see Juan Villegas come out and attempt what's going to be approximately a 40-yard. Not approximately. She's going to be right on the 40-yard line.
I think he's got the wind with him, Bill, so this is a makeable field goal for Juan Villegas.
Yep. Cade Tresh is the snapper. Dawson's holding. Here's a snap. The ball's down. It's up. And he had another 30 yards on that one, possibly. At least 20 yards. But it's no good. I think the crosswind might have caught it. It looked like it might have gone wide left. And he had plenty of leg on it.
Mansfield takes over.
So, both teams have had one offensive drive. Neither team has scored.
At the 23-yard
and in a game of field position, through this so far, the Tigers have advanced themselves out to the Viking 23-yard line. What'll be 1st and 10 for the Tigers? Sean Hartfield is the quarterback. He's got Avery Chapman in the backfield with him. So low snap, he bobbles it, he picks it up, now he throws over to his left, and it's caught, but he's hit immediately. I believe it was number 8.
Jackson Gleason.
Khalifa Gar was the defender who hit number 8 Gleason immediately.
Yeah, Jackson Gleason is their leading receiver, and it's kind of interesting that they've come out throwing the ball, on a couple of them. They threw in the first series and they threw again here. But, as we said, they're known for their running attack.
So they come out again, single receivers right and left, empty backfield. The quarterback's under center. There's a running back, he's going to get caught behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a loss back to the 25-yard line. And that was number 32, Chapman, the running back. But, Joe, instead of a big play, it's a big loss.
That was a great play by the Vikings defense. I mean, they just blew through the offensive line of the Tigers and got to the running back before he had any chance whatsoever.
Colin Thompson was one of the Lamar players that got back there immediately. So that's a loss of 4. Third down and about 6, looks like.
Third down and 6.
So here's another big third down for the Vikings. It's at the 27-yard line. Hartman steps back, he fakes a handoff, he's rolling to the left side, throws, way overthrown. I don't know if he was throwing that away, Joe, or if that was a busted pattern. But either way, with some pressure and some miscommunication somehow among the Tiger offense, that's a 3 and out. It's 4th and 6.
Yeah, and another great job by the Viking defense. They forced it into a bad position with regard, after that running play where they stopped them behind the line of scrimmage, and so they were forced to throw the ball, and that's again. Mansfield uncomfortable throwing the ball.
Gleason, the receiver, the punter, he's back there at his own 16-yard line to take the snap, rolls to his, now he does more of a line drive to get that ball out of the wind. It rolls across the 50, 45, it's rolling to the 40 in Viking territory. It's going to roll and stop at about the 42-yard line. 37. That's Aggie Master. I was adding the wrong direction.
Well, I was going to let you go there for a while before we actually figured out that you were wrong.
One time I thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken. Interesting situation. But it's fresh and 10 for the Vikings at their own 37-yard line. 2 3 and outs, I believe, for the Viking defense.
35 yards on the punt.
Twins left, single right. Dawson hands off up the middle to Bradley, but he's going to get caught for about a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, that play really 6. Yeah, that play really had no chance. I mean, the Tiger defense was in the backfield just immediately after Bradley got the ball on the handoff.
Well, Joe, so far, one of my kind of concerns, if not fears, going into this game has not been realized. I was kind of concerned about that big first explosive play from the Tigers on offense. But 2 offensive drives for them. It's 3 and outs. Now the Vikings, they've moved the ball on the previous drive. Now we'll see if they can do something here, 2nd and 11. Behind the chains, as they would say. Now we've got Twins left, single right. Bradley in the backfield. Now he goes in motion to this sideline. Dawson steps back. He's going to run up the middle, but he's going to get caught behind the line of scrimmage at the 34-yard line for a loss of about 3 yards.
Yeah,
2 yards.
He did have some running room, but if he had just gotten by that one defender, but unfortunately, that one defender stayed at home and was able to tackle him before he was able to make a big play.
So it's 3rd down and 13. Big 3rd down for the Viking offense. It looks like we're going to have twin receivers. Nope, we're going to have trips right. Single left. Bradley in the backfield, standing to the right of Dawson. Now we've got one in motion. Jalen Jones, he steps back. Dawson rolls to his right. Throws toward the first down marker, but that's going to be short, incomplete.
As intended for number 2, Matthew Shaw. The defender broke the pass up. It was number 7. Cason McCullough Cooper.
Number 7, Cason McCullough Cooper was the defender that broke that up. The pass was a little bit short anyway. But now it's 4th and 13, and we will be punting, and it looks like it's going to be Dayton Dubs back there to punt. The deep man for the Tigers is back at his own 30-yard line. Again, we'll have the wind with us. There's the kick. It's good. High one. It looks like it's going to have plenty of move. Fake fair catch called, if you will. The ball's bowling past the 5-yard line, and we didn't have anyone back there to kill the ball before it goes in the end zone. So we lose about 15 to 13 yards by not getting back there to stop that punt.
Well, Dayton West had the wind with him on that punt, and unfortunately, he kicked it. I mean, he had a nice kick, and with the roll, that ball just made it all the way to the end zone. So that's just one of those breaks that happens when you've got the wind, and you just got to try to ease up a little bit on those kind of punts. But unfortunately, it just made it to the end zone, and now the Tigers are going to be starting on their
first and 10 at their own 20-yard line, single right, single left. Hartsfield, the quarterback, under center. Now he's got a man in motion behind him. It's a pitch back to number 17. He's at 15, breaks one tackle. He's moving laterally, breaks another tackle. His helmet comes off. That's going to be a face mask call against the Vikings. I think that's how his helmet came off. Couldn't have been secured too well. He gets out to the 30-yard line.
Brought down by Lamar, number 18, James Douglas, number 6.
Number 18, James Douglas, and Khalifa Gar were the tacklers, but one of the tackles he broke, Joe, looked like it was a face mask, and it is, and his helmet went flying.
Well, they had him slowed in the backfield, and then the other Viking defenders moved to the ball to try to tackle him. Unfortunately, one of the Viking defenders grabbed his face mask, so that's going to tack on to 15 yards.
So that's going to put the ball at the 38-yard line, still in still in Mansfield's own territory.
At the 38-yard line.
The Vikings are still able to get back there, and they're making good penetration into the backfield on all of these running plays.
Well, hopefully that'll prevent the Tigers from scoring very much tonight. Now they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now in the shotgun, Hartsfield. He's got trips left, single right. He steps back. A little bit of pressure. The ball is loose. And I can't see who's picked it up yet. But that's going to be a loss of yardage. The Tigers did get it. I know number 9, Jordan Mercado, was out back there in the backfield helping out with some of that action. He's kind of a little bit frustrated, looking like maybe he's the one that knocked the ball loose, but we couldn't get a hold of it. But anyway, that's a big loss of yardage, 6 yards. It's going to bring up second down and 16 at the 32.
Second down, 16 from the 32-yard line.
Now they have a single left. Everyone else kind of just behind the line of scrimmage. They have one fullback. It's a pitch to him from the 25. He's at the 30. He gets stopped at the 30-yard line. Joe, that's a loss of 2 yards.
Yeah. The Viking defense is playing inspired football, Bill. They are really getting after whether it's the runner or when the quarterback drops back to pass.
Jordan Mercado was in there again. It looked like he was grabbing his face. I don't know if he got poked in the eye or something, but he was in there on that play again. And now it's third down and 18 at the 30-yard line. Big third down here, Joe. So far, quite the defensive game.
Right, because you want to make them punt here because they're punting into the wind. So you're going to get a decent field position if you can stop them.
Here's the snap. Hartsfield's back. He throws over to the left side at the 40, and number 8 stops him. 8 caught the ball. And Khalifa Gar pushing out short of the first down by far, and that's going to bring up fourth down and about 7. So 4th and 7 at the 41, and it's punt time into the wind, like you said, Joe. 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Hopefully we can take advantage of having the wind behind our backs with the last 3.5 minutes or so by the time we get the ball here. We've got Trayvon West deep. He's at his own 35-yard line.
Yeah, Bill, they use that rugby-style kick, and so
here he comes again.
Difficult to field.
That one's higher. Trayvon West fields it up to 27. He's across the 30 to 35. There's a flag on the play, it looks like. Is that a flag or a beanbag? Okay, for where he was returning the kick. So Trayvon West, he's going to get about 5 or 6 yards on the return to the 33-yard line.
First and 10, the 33-yard line.
So, Joe, this will be our, third offensive possession of the game?
Right, Bill. And, they really haven't moved the ball very well. And so I think it's time to, see whether or not they can, try to run some sweeps, try to run something where they can get the ball outside, because the inside run hasn't really worked very well. We've stopped Bradley on a couple of occasions, and Dawson hasn't been able to complete many passes at all. So
Twins left, single right, Bradley behind Dawson. Here's the snap. It is a handoff to Bradley up the middle, He's going to get about 2 yards to the 35-yard line.
For a gain of about 2. Max Sweet, number 49, making the stop. Second down.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 8 at our own 35-yard line. It looks like we're going to have trips right, single receiver left. Bradley in the backfield right now behind Dawson. Here's the snap. Dawson rolls almost straight back. He's got pressure, breaks one tackle in the backfield. Now he's looking for somewhere to go and takes a seat to avoid a big hit at the 32-yard line or so.
2 yards.
Right. We talked about the pressure that Mansfield can bring, and you know, it came right off the edge on that play, and Dawson was in immediate trouble. Now he was able to escape it initially, but then the other Mansfield defenders, you know, kind of collapsed on him.
And he wisely took a seat there because he was going to get smashed by 1, if not 2, Tigers. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 from our own 33-yard line now. And it looks like coming out of the huddle, we're going to have trips right, single left. He passes over to the right-hand side, is caught at the 45-yard line. First down for the Vikings. Trayvon West is the receiver. He gets run out of bounds right away. So 1st and 10 on the 12-yard play, Joe.
That was a nice play by Jack Dawson. He got rid of the ball very quickly and found Trayvon West on the sideline for a first down.
So 1st and 10 for the Vikings at our own 47-yard line. Looks like we're going to have twins left, single right. And in the backfield, we've got number 22, Cedric Davis. So not Bradley or Moultrie at this point. Usually our 2 running backs. It's a handoff. No, it's not. He pulls it back. Over the middle is caught by number 2 at the 35, 30, 25, and carries the tackler down to the 23-yard line. Matthew Shaw was the receiver. Wow, Joe.
Well, our pick to click, Matthew Shaw is really paying off. He made 2 nice catches in the game, and that was a great play fake by Jack Dawson.
Yeah, it's almost like that zone read where he kind of holds it there and he pulls it back, but I think that was designed the whole way for the pass play. So it's 1st and 10 Vikings at the Tiger 24-yard line. Twins left, single right. 2 in the backfield with Dawson. It's going to be a handoff to Davis up the middle and right over the center, basically. He's pushing and driving those legs up to just shy of the 20-yard line. So he's going to have about 4 yards.
Yeah, initially I didn't think that was going to get very much yardage, but you know, he kept his feet moving, and the offensive line just kept pushing and pushing, and you know, it was a pickup of 4 yards.
And I'll tell you, a couple of the guys that were there on that line, I want to give them some shout-outs. Graham Eads playing left tackle, and then number 52, Gerardo Castro playing left guard, really helped him get that boost. Here's his pass. It's a pass over to the left side. Number 10 for 15. He's down to the 9-yard line. Hayden Dubs. And that's going to be another first down for the Vikings inside the 10-yard line, Joe. 1st and goal. We're moving.
Yeah, that's another nice play. That's essentially a pick play, Bill, where they set a receiver in motion. He comes over and you know, kind of sets a pick for the
first and goal. It's a handoff up the middle by Davis. He's going to get to about the 6-yard line. So that's a gain of about 3.
Davis to the 6.
Well, the Vikings are moving with the tempo now.
Actually, that's Jalen Jones. My fault. It's number 23, not number 20. They're really moving people in and out of the backfield. Jalen Jones was that ball carrier. Now, Jones and Bradley in the backfield. It's a handoff to Jalen Jones. He'll get up to the 5-yard line. That's a gain of 1. That's going to be 3rd and goal at the 5. They're upbeat tempo here, Joe.
They're moving quickly.
It's almost hard to keep up with them. Now there's a timeout on the field.
Time is called.
Lamar calls timeout.
Well, you know, that's really, the tempo's really helped because I think it's kept the Tigers kind of on their heels, and you know, there've been some really nice play calls by the Viking coaching staff. You know, they've mixed the run with the pass, and they've moved personnel around, and I think some of the formations have been a little bit different than we've seen in the past. So I think that you know, what we've seen is a really nice drive by the Vikings offense, and now they've got themselves in a 3rd and goal situation. And I think you know, what Coach Blay wants to do is pick his best play to try to score a touchdown right here.
Yeah, you want to get 6 if you can on this drive.
Exactly.
7 with the extra point, of course, but much preferable over a field goal.
And while the tempo was working, I think Coach DeLay, realized that, he's got to really think about this and like I said, pick his best play.
Good time to call a timeout, make sure everyone's on the same page. So here they come back to the line of scrimmage. We got twins right, single left. One in the backfield. Bradley is to Dawson's left. Jalen Jones just moved up to a little slot position. Dawson rolls back. He's under pressure. It's thrown, and it's broken up at the last second at the goal line. And there's a flag on the play. It's going to be roughing the passer, I believe, against number 42 of the Tigers. He hit Dawson well after he threw the ball. That's going to be Jarrett Skaggs. I believe that penalty's going to go against.
And Jarrett Skaggs is one of those guys. He leads the Mansfield Tigers in sacks. So he is, well known for rushing the passer. Unfortunately, on this particular play, he went a little too hard after Gas Dawson.
A little too late. But that's going to be half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down, Joe. So now we have first and goal at the 3-yard line. 2.5 yard line, that's right. Half of 5 is 2. It is. And a half. Twins right, single left. Bradley in the backfield, just to the left of Dawson. Here's the snap. It's a keeper by Dawson around the left side. Oh, and he gets hit at about the 2, but he rolls up to the 1-yard line. That was number 17 for the Tigers. We don't have 17's number.
17. We're still looking for his name. We'll call him Anderson.
That's going to be the end of the first quarter, Joe. The score is 0-0. But the Vikings are driving down. They're on the 1-yard line. It's going to be second and goal, I believe.
They are right on the edge, and they've got to punch this in right here. So that penalty really helped and bailed them out a little bit, but now they've got an opportunity to take the lead, and their defense has played fantastic in the first quarter. So, the offense has got to do its job right here.
Definitely so. Yeah, really glad to see how the defense has come out, and basically, I believe it is 3 and outs, isn't it? I don't know that Mansfield has a first down that first quarter. They might have one.
They might have one.
I'm not keeping any unofficial stats, but basically, they've not had any sustained drive. So now at the switch of the quarter, the Vikings are going to be moving left to right. So they'll be down at the south end zone. If you're familiar with the area, that's heading towards I-30, if you will. And second and 1, Joe, they've got a couple of shots here to try different things. I don't know, would you think it's going to be a running play?
Well, they haven't had tremendous success with the run, but I think that you're so close, you'd think that they'd be able to, give it to Bradley, who's been successful, in the past, in games past.
And Bradley does
about 1 yard.
Bradley does come out into the backfield. We have twins right, single left. Bradley is in the backfield. He was behind Dawson. Now he's to the left of Dawson. They're standing on the 5-yard line. The line of scrimmage to 1. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to Bradley, who's met behind the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a loss back to the 3. So we lose 2 yards on that running play. That time, the defensive line from Mansfield had penetration into the backfield.
Of course, having said all that, that the Tigers know that they're exactly going to look at that kind of play as well. So we may see some sort of a run option or something like that.
Well, we're waiting for the play to come into from the sideline. We do already have twins right and a single left. And it looks like we've got Bradley in the backfield and Jalen Jones in the backfield. The play clock down to 1. It looks like we're going to take a delay game penalty here. That is bad timing. We just took too long to get the play out onto the field. Now, Joe, instead of third and goal at the 3, it's third and goal at the 8. That changes the play call, I believe.
Changes everything. And you just can't have that. I mean, you took a timeout, prior to that last play, and, you just cannot let the play clock go down to 0 on that in that situation, and that's not, that's a coaching decision.
It's twins right, single left. Bradley and Jalen Jones in the backfield on either side of Dawson. Dawson takes a snap, still rolls to his right. The pass is in and out of the hands of Matthew Shaw at the 5-yard line, and now it's 4th and goal at the 8, and out comes Juan Villegas and the kicking team.
Well, he had him open, and unfortunately the pass was not that good. I mean, it was a little bit low. It was down, it was low, down by his feet, and he even if he had caught that pass, I don't think he was going to be able to score.
So 4th and goal, and of course we'll have Cade Tresh is going to be the snapper. Dawson holds, and the right-legged kicker, Villegas, from the tee is on the 15-yard line. So 25-yard field goal attempt into the wind. The snap is there, the kick is up, it's partially blocked, and it rolls in and out of the end zone. So now 2 field goal attempts. One had plenty of leg, went wide left. This one is blocked partially, and it goes out of the end zone.
Yeah, the rusher for Mansfield, for the Mansfield Tiger team, just came in virtually unblocked. I mean, he came off the edge, and he was...
That was at number 17 that we don't have a name for on our rosters that we've been provided.
Well, maybe he's just a transfer this week, because he's all over the place.
From the 20-yard line.
So the Tigers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Again, quite the defensive struggle. Of course, we finally had one big sustained drive down to the, got as far as the 1-yard line. They've got a single left. Hartsfield pitches back, and it's going to be met at the 21-yard line. It looks like they'll give him a gain of 1 before he gets pushed backwards. So it'll be 2nd down and 9.
That's just a deflating, it's such a deflating situation when you have the opportunity to score like that and you just don't do it. So now it's back on the defense to make another shot.
So that was Jaquelius Coleman, number 25. That was the running back on that play, taking the pitch. So good defensive play. It's 2nd down and 9 at the 21-yard line. Single left, single right. Number 21, Theo Owens, is in the backfield. It's going to be up the middle, up to the 25. He's going to be brought down at the 28-yard line.
21, the ball carrier, brought down by number 3.
Number 3, Daniel Red Huggins, brought him down. So now it's going to be 3rd down and 2. And Joe, as we always say, this is a big 3rd down.
Yeah, that's really one of the first running plays that they've really gotten any kind of significant yardage on. So I think that hopefully the defensive line can hold them here, because I don't think that we're going to see anything but a run right up the gut.
Yep, single left and everything else in the backfield. The quarterback, Hartsfield under center, he pitches it back, and that was a flag on the play, and I think that's going to be a illegal procedure. So, Joe, that helps us out, because instead of 3rd and 2, it'll be 3rd and 7, and back at the 23-yard line.
Five-yard penalty against the Tigers for illegal motion.
So just like it moved us back from 3rd and goal at the 3 to 3rd and goal at the 8, now they're 3rd and 7 instead of 3rd and 2.
Well, pitching and passing.
Single left, single right, full house backfield. Hartfield, the quarterback in the shotgun, takes a snap. He looks to his left. It's going to be complete at the 31-yard line. That's number 8, Jackson Gleason.
Jackson Gleason.
Well, Gleason was, like I said, he's their leading receiver, and he was wide open. There was way too much pushing on Gleason on that particular play.
Yep. Khalifa Gar did come in and make the stop right away, but like he said, the completion was made. That pass just a little bit on the low side, but he reached down and grabbed it. 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 31-yard line. 8:38 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Mansfield under center.
It's going to be a pitch back. It's going to be up the middle. Then he's going to be met at a 1-yard gain to the 32-yard line. Coleman is the carrier. And then number 21 for the Vikings, Javante Kemp, was leading the stop. Also in there, I see coming out, number 47 for the Vikings,
Jeffrey High.
Jeffrey High.
Also in on the stop, number 47.
Bobby Brown has just come out off the field.
So now it's 2nd down and 9 for the Tigers. Full house backfield. Hartsfield under center. He steps back. He fakes a handoff. He's looking to pass. He's going to go straight down the field towards number 8, who's wide open. He catches it, and he's going to roll down to the 25-yard line in Viking territory. That's going to be a 43-yard gain, I believe.
43 yards.
Jackson Gleason just ran a post. He did not break stride from when he took off on the line of scrimmage, and that ball was thrown right on the money. And if you remember, I told you that Jackson Gleason is averaging 30 yards per catch.
And there was 43, so now it's 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the Viking 25-yard line. They've got a single receiver left, single right. Two in the backfield. Hartsfield, the quarterback, under center. Takes a snap, comes back, handoff up the middle to number 25. He's going to get to the 20-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 5 yards.
Coleman, the ball carrier.
That's going to be Jaquelius Coleman. He's going to be stopped at the 20-yard line. So, Joe, it's 2nd down and 5
Gain of 5,
at the 20.
2nd and 5 from the 20.
Well, what you don't want is you don't want your defense to be staying out there for a long time, and they were able to get some quick 3-and-outs, and so you don't want a sustained drive.
They come back to the line of scrimmage. Twins left, nobody right. Two in the backfield behind Hartsfield, who comes up under center again. Old school style. Pitch back to number 25. He's trying to find a way. He goes around the left side. 15, 10, 5. And he's hit hard. And they're going to say he's in the end zone. So Jaquelius Coleman scores the first touchdown of the game on the 20-yard run. Joe, it looked like we had a chance to stop him for a second, but he moved a little bit further to the left, and then he just had a path into the end zone.
Yeah, there were some nice blocks on the outside by the Mansfield team, and it just opened up a huge hole for him to go through on the outside.
Jarrett Holman coming out to kick the extra point for the Tigers. The snap kick is up, and it is good. So it's 7-0 now in favor of the Tigers. 6:38 to go in the second quarter.
Well, we didn't have to really worry about the sustained drive because they moved it down the field pretty quickly in a couple of big plays.
80 yards, 4 plays, 2 first downs.
Yep, especially that 43-yard pass play. That's what broke our backs on that
3
one.
minutes, 32 seconds.
I thought we had a chance when they had that penalty that moved them back 5 yards on that false start.
Well, we talked about one of the keys of the game. Do not allow explosive plays, and that 43-yard pass play was explosive. It was a nice post pattern run by Jackson Gleason, and that's what he's known for. And that was a beautiful pass by the quarterback.
That drive covered 80 yards in only 4 plays, and the 43-yard pass play was the backbreaker, but the 20-yard run that scored the touchdown kicked it off. 3:32 on that possession. So now we're going to receive a kickoff, and we've got Trayvon West and Douglas, it looks like, back deep.
Douglas and West deep for Lamar.
With Holman to kick.
Holman kicking off for the Tigers.
Douglas on the far sideline, or far hash mark, if you will. Trayvon West on this one. They're standing at the 5-yard line. And the ball comes off the tee. The football ball is down at the 41-yard line, and the kicker comes back to replace it on the tee. Restart the play clock at 25 seconds. And here's the kick. Kind of a line drive kick that's going to be fielded by Douglas at the 6-yard line. He comes inside 10, 15, 20, and he's going to be hit at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
So
on the return.
That's about a 19-yard return by Douglas. Number 23, Damian Dawson, made the stop. So the Vikings are going to have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Well, it'll be interesting to see what kind of plan of attack we have for this drive to try to answer that score by the Tigers on, I think that was their 4th possession of the game.
Right. There was an offside call, Bill, on the Tigers, so it moved the ball to the 30-yard line.
Oh, thanks for picking that up. I missed that, Joe. So 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 30. Now they come out to the line of scrimmage. So we're going to have twins right, single left. We've got 2 in the, well, 1 in the backfield with Dawson. Here's the snap. It's a fake handoff. Dawson throws over the middle to Matthew Shaw. He fights and pushes, and he gets up to the 41-yard line. Joe, that's an 11-yard gain on 1st down.
Yeah, and Shaw was stopped, but Shaw just kept fighting to get that down.
You know, and he's not a running back, he's a receiver, but he had those legs driving like a running back to get that extra yardage to go past the 1st down marker. Twins left, single right. Davis is the tailback. He takes a handoff over the left guard up to the 45 to the 46-yard line. There's going to be a flag on the play here, right back near the line of scrimmage, and we'll see what that is. It's going to be a hold against the Vikings, unfortunately. So there goes that 5 or so yard gain, 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, and you know the Vikings in the last couple of games have done a really good job and not you know with regard to penalties, but unfortunately you know a couple of untimely penalties have hurt them in this game.
Definitely so. The ball now back at the 31-yard line, so that's going to bring up
10-yard
first down and 20. At least it's first down, but it's 20 yards to go. Most of the team in the huddle. We've got a single receiver left. That's Dayton Dubs, and we've got Matthew Shaw and Trayvon West right. Looks like Cedric Davis in the backfield, I believe. Jalen Jones in motion. It's a handoff to Davis up the middle, and he's just going to barely get a yard at that. He was met by number 16, Brian Otori.
Otori, number 16, on the stop. Gain of 2 yards.
Well, right there, you're just hoping to catch him in
second down and 19.
Run defense and try to pick up some yards.
Twins left, single right. Here's the snap. Dawson's back. He's got some time, and now he's being chased, and he's just going to throw that out of bounds. He's out of the tackle box, so he can throw that anywhere he wants to and throws it safely over to our sideline. But, Joe, that brings up, I believe, third down and 19.
Third down and 19.
So that's where you can tell, Bill. That's what happens with those penalties. It just puts you in a hole, and you're just trying to dig out of it, and it's virtually impossible to do.
Well, the offensive line is actually giving Dawson some time to throw, but the coverage is so good, he's having a hard time finding someone in time, so he's had to throw a couple of them away. Trips left, single right. Dawson's back. He's looking around, throws quickly over the middle. It's intercepted at the 25-yard line by number 9, Garrett Merrifield. So, Joe, now it's an untimely turnover deep in our own territory.
Yeah, they were trying to set up a screen, and that, unfortunately, was thrown right to the Mansfield defender.
So now the Tigers are going to have the ball first and 10 at the Viking 24-yard line.
Of the Vikings,
24.
Tigers, pardon me, the 24-yard line of the Vikings, the Tigers take over first and 10.
Well, needless to say, this is an important stand for the Viking defense. You want to be able to keep them out of the end zone so that you can keep this a one-score game.
Single left to the backfield behind Hartfield. It's a fake pitch. He steps back. He has some time. Now he's pressured. Throws way out of the end zone or into the back of the end zone, overthrown. And that's going to be an incomplete pass. It was intended for number 20, Grayson Tatro. And back there defending one of the Vikings that was back there was Deshaun Gaddy. And then number 13, Red Huggins, was back there kind of covering that receiver in the end zone. Brings up second down and 10 at the 24. Joe, he was pressured a little bit there.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those situations where you get a turnover, and a lot of teams will go right for the kill. And that's what they try to do there.
Single left, single right. 2 in the backfield. Hartsfield under center, old school style. I like it. It's a pitch back to number 22. He comes across the 25 to the 20, and he's tackled by Red Huggins at the 15-yard line. Huggins made the touchdown-saving tackle right there.
I think that if Huggins does not make that tackle, he is he was going to the house on that play.
That's going to bring up third down and 1 at the 15.5-yard line. They've got to get to the 14, so it's about 1.5 to go here, Joe. Broken record time. It's a big third down for the Viking defense. Single left, single right. Now 1 in the backfield. That's number 22, KJ Hawkins.
Hawkins, the tailback.
Hartsfield under center. It's a pitch to Hawkins. He's around the 20 to the 15, 10. He gets tackled by Huggins. Huggins on the tackle again. And that's going to be at about the 9-yard line, so that sets up first and goal.
Well, Bill, you know, earlier in the game, they were trying to run up the middle, and the Viking defense was stopping them. They've gone to sort of the pitch game, and unfortunately for the Vikings, they have not been able to stop the Tigers when they've gotten outside.
Definitely so. Single left, single right. Now we've got 2 in the backfield behind Hartsfield, who's under center. It's a pitch again, this time straight up the middle, and he's going to be met pretty close to the line of scrimmage, and maybe a gain of 1. The line of scrimmage was the 9, I believe. He's going to get to the 8, so gain of 1. And that'll bring up second and goal at the 8-yard line. So that time up the middle, and they stopped it. They didn't go around the end, you're right. So they come up to the line of scrimmage. Single left, single right. I formation, 2 backs behind Hartsfield, who comes up under center. Takes a snap. It's a pitch. He's at the 20, across the 15, over the left guard, inside the 5, and he stops at the 4-yard line. That's going to be number 32, Avery Chapman. And then stopping him is going to be number 34, Josiah Mercado, and then Bobby Brown were there for the tackle. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 4. And Joe, Bobby Brown just came limping off the field. He's nursing that injury he had about 3 weeks ago, and he's not at 100% by far. It's going to be 3rd and goal at the 4. And now, no receivers out wide. It's the old wishbone formation, 3 backs. It's a handoff to number 21. He goes around the left guard, right guard, and he's in for the touchdown, 4-yard run.
Mansfield Tigers.
Well, that was sort of big boy football right there. They just went ahead and powered their way. They put everybody on the line of scrimmage and 3 backs, and they just kind of pushed everything that they could in and just overpowered the Vikings' defensive line.
Yep, so it's going to be number 89, their place kicker, Jarrett Holman, out to try the extra point. Snap, kick is up. It hits the upright, and it's going to fall into the end zone, so that's no good. It's 13-0, Joe. If our offense can get with it, that could make a difference in the game.
Yeah, we have 2.5 minutes to go before the half. Ideally, you want to get some points on the scoreboard before halftime.
Joe, it's interesting that I mentioned kind of once or twice, Hartsfield, the quarterback, he's going up under center. I mean, so much these days, even if it's going to be a running play, you see him in the pistol all the way back in the shotgun. I love that. And then I don't know how long it's been since I've seen a true wishbone formation, 2 halfbacks and a fullback behind the quarterback under center.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time that I saw that. And you know, having, going under center like that, I mean, it gives you the opportunity to, in short yardage situations, it's just so much better to use power football to get that short yardage gain.
But that was good old 1970s power offense running game. Well, that last scoring drive took 2:33 off the clock for the Tigers. They went only 24 yards, took them 5 plays, and the missed extra point, and it's 13-0. Now we've got Douglas and Trayvon West back deep. This time, West is on the far hash mark, I believe. There's their 5-yard line. Holman set to kick off. Yeah, this time Douglas is on this hash mark. I think they switched from last time. 2:30 to play in the half. Vikings trail 13-0, about to receive a kickoff. Kick is up. It's kind of a pooch kick to the far right-hand side. It's going to bounce at the 15, picked up by West at the 16. He goes laterally to the 20, trying to find a place to break. He gets up now to the 23-yard line before he's hit. So Trayvon West, he probably picked up about 7 or so yards on that return, picking it up around the 16-yard line, 1st and 10 at their own 23.
And 34, Odom.
Odom was one of the people making the stop for the Tigers. Well, Joe, 2:23 to go. See what kind of a 2-minute drill the Vikings have. They have 2 of their timeouts left, if that comes into play here. They are going into the wind. And they come out to the line of scrimmage. Bradley's going to be in the backfield. Jalen Jones just off the line of scrimmage. Twins right, single left. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to Bradley. He goes around the right guard, but he's met immediately. And it looks like they're going to give him forward progress back to the line of scrimmage at the 23 for no gain.
Robert Shaw, number 44, and number 49, Max Sweets.
Number 44, Robert Shaw, number 44, Max Sweet made the stop for the Tigers. So now we're going to come back out. Twins left, single right. Trayvon West is the receiver on this side. Got Matthew Shaw, and I'm not sure who's on the far side. Got Bradley in the backfield. Here's a snap. It's no, it's not a handoff. Dawson's looking for someone. He's struggling now. He's scrambling now. He's going to be sacked back at the 13-yard line. Joe, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
Robert Shaw.
Really, Dawson had no chance whatsoever because they were in the backfield almost immediately. He made a nice move initially to try to get away from the rusher, but he just couldn't do it.
So that's going to bring up 3rd down and I believe 19. believe it's 3rd and 19 for the Vikings at their own 14-yard line.
So
You got glasses on the referee.
They're trying to make a signal up to the press box to change it. 1:47, I believe, is what they're looking for on the clock.
147. 137. 137. Yep.
And now we've got the clock at 1:37 to go here in the second quarter. 3rd and 19 for the Vikings at their own 14-yard line. Twins right, single left.
Down to 19.
Got one back behind Dawson. It's a high snap. Dawson looks back. He throws to this sideline to Trayvon West, who drops the pass. He's going to get hit immediately.
It'll be 4th down.
And that's going to be 4th and 19.
Joe saves the Tigers a timeout by that incomplete pass. So
that's a good point.
They still have, they took a timeout, I think, and so I think they only have 2 timeouts left.
So they have their deep person back at the 46-yard line in Viking territory. Peyton Dubs to punt. He gets the kick up. It's a pretty good kick. There's a fair catch called at the 46. He'll receive it there. So now the Tigers will have the ball 1st and 10 at the Viking 46 with 1:33 and at least 2 timeouts here in the second half.
Well, we were thinking that Lamar was going to have a chance to score before the half, or at least, have the potential to put some points up on the board. Now, we've got to hope that the Tigers don't put any more points up on the board.
Yeah, because another touchdown is going to make it tough, even though we do receive the opening kickoff in the second half. 3 scores down, it's going to be tough to come back from. Well,
turnover would be nice right here.
Turnover would be great. We have a single right, single left. Hartsfield under center. Now the man in motion. It's a fake handoff. He throws all the way downfield. They're going for it all, and it's in and out of the hands of number 8, Jackson Gleason. They're trying for that big play again.
Yeah, he's their home run man.
Ball just maybe a tad overthrown. It was off his outside hand, but that would have been a tough one to bring in. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers at the Viking 46-yard line.
Jackson Gleason is a lanky receiver, and he has a long strides, and it was just outside of his reach.
So I see Jaqualius Coleman, excuse me, and now timeout called by the Tigers. So they want some time to really think about what's going on here as they try to get some more points on the board, whether it's at least a field goal or a kick. Remember, Joe, they've got the wind behind them. It is a variable wind, and it's really not a due south to north wind. There is some kind of crosswind as well.
Right. So it's not, like you said, it's not going to be an easy field goal attempt if they don't score a touchdown, but it's certainly a more makeable attempt going in this direction for the Tigers if they do have to attempt a field goal.
And of course, we have missed 2 field goals in the game so far. One that was plenty of leg but wide left when we had the wind behind us, and the other one that was partially blocked. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers at the Viking 46-yard line. Both teams come out to the field after the timeout was called. The entire Tiger team is in the huddle. Now they break out. Now they have twins right, single left. And in the shotgun is Hartsfield. There's a snap. He looks over to the right. He throws. And the pass is caught by number 13 at the 33-yard line. He's hit immediately by Khalifa Gar. That's going to be Z. Reevy was the receiver there, Joe.
Khalifa
kind of a soft coverage there by Gar.
First and 10 Tigers.
So 1st and 10 Tigers at the Viking 33-yard line. The clock at 1:14 and rolling here in the second quarter.
So 17 is 5.
Here's a pass that's out to number 8 at the 20-yard line, complete, and then he makes it to the Gleason makes it to the 13-yard line, and Deshaun Gaddy pushes him out of bounds. But Joe, there's another big first down play quickly.
Yeah, now they're in striking distance. They can go ahead and throw it into the end zone on any of these plays. They still have, I think they've got one timeout left,
We have
actually.
discovered who number 17
First and 10 for the Tigers at the Viking 13-yard line.
17 is Cameron
So
Jones.
they can run it if they want to.
Oh, yeah. So they're going to come out here with a single right, single left. Hartsfield in the pistol. He's got a running back to his right. He's got, now there's a flag on the play, and that looks like that's going to be delay of game. I wasn't watching the play clock, Joe, but apparently it went down to 0. And so that'll cost them 5 yards. So it'll be 1st and 15 at the 23-yard line. 54 seconds to play. Clock stopped on the penalty. Single right, single left. 2 in the backfield with Hartsfield. He's in the shotgun. He takes a snap, throws over to the right-hand side. He has a receiver, and it's in and out of the hands. Incomplete. Khalifa Gar was covering there. Number 20, Grayson Tatro was the intended receiver. That time, Joe Gar, a little bit better timing, and broke up the play. So that's going to bring up now 2nd down and 15 for the Tigers at the Viking 18-yard line. 50 seconds to go. That did stop the clock. Now they have a single receiver left. I formation, 2 in the backfield. It's a pitch. It's up to the 25, to the 20, to the 15-yard line, just shy of the 15-yard line. So Jaquelius Coleman.
Brought down by Kemp.
That was a nice play by the Viking defense.
Javante Kemp was right there to help make that stop. Now Mansfield calls a timeout. It's 3rd down and about 12.
That's their final timeout of the half.
3rd and 12 at the 16-yard line. They've got to get to the... Yeah, what's that? It looks like 3rd and about 12, Joe.
Yeah.
Because I think we're kind of in some half-yard things here with the chains and the marker. But we'll call it 3rd and 12 at about the 16-yard line.
3rd and 12, so, obviously they're going to try to, if they get the first down, that'll stop the clock. They could spike it and do what they need to do in order to try to get in the end zone.
So now they come back out to the field after the timeout was called. That was the final timeout for the Tigers. Joe, you were right earlier. They had called one back earlier in the game. So no timeouts left. And like you said, if they get a first down, they'll probably have to get up and spike the ball. Now they come out to the line of scrimmage. Single left, single right. 2 in the backfield. Hartsfield is in the shotgun.
Wouldn't be surprised if they went to Jackie.
Here's the snap. They throw over to the right, and that's a miscommunication or a busted route. He threw the ball closer to the sideline. Tatro went either straight or left. Khalifa Gar on the coverage, but I think that was just a blown play, and that's 4th down.
He was expecting the receiver, I think, to turn in, and the receiver just kept going.
Yeah.
Into attempt a field goal.
So now Holman will come out to try a field goal. The tee's going to be placed at the 23. No tee. They're kicking off the ground, but at the 23. So 33-yard line, 33-yard attempt. The ball is down. The kick is up, and that looks like it is good. So now the score goes to 16-0 with only 37 seconds left in the half.
Well, it was nice that they held them to a field goal under the circumstances, because the way that they had moved on the 2 previous possessions, it wasn't looking good as far as holding them out of the end zone. But they were able to do that and just keep them to a field goal.
And I think we need to credit Javante Kemp, along with a lot of other players, but on that second down play, he made that good stop. On the third down, it was the busted play, but Javante Kemp played a big part in that defensive stand.
On your way to the concession stand, stop by the Spirit Sales Table, located to the northwest end of the home bleachers.
Well, Joe, we're going to have Trayvon West and Douglas deep. And they switch sides again. Now Trayvon West is on the far hash mark, and James Douglas is on this hash mark. Holman will be kicking off for the Tigers. Of course, the Vikings moving left to right in this quarter for 37 more seconds. A big return would really be nice here, Joe.
Yeah, without a big return, I think you just take a knee and go into the half.
Now, it's interesting to note, we have everyone between the 50 and now they're dropping some back. We look like we were ready for an onside kick. Now we're kind of ready for sort of a pooch kick. We still have the 2 deep back at the 10-yard line. And Holman kicks the ball, and it's a pooch kick that's going to be caught at the 38-yard line by the Vikings. He's going to get up to the 43-yard line. So pooch kick, and that's going to be Matthew Shaw that returned that. Got about 5. I was almost expecting him to call a fair catch because he was going to get hit immediately, but he broke a tackle and got 5 yards on the return.
That's sort of an interesting, decision to pooch that.
By the Tigers?
By the Tigers. I'm kind of perplexed by that. I mean, they've got the win with them. I don't. If you're not going to onside, try an onside kick, which I don't see why you do that anyway.
It did set us up with good field position. 1st and 10 at our own 43-yard line, 34 seconds to go. We do have 2 timeouts left.
With Bradley behind him.
They could certainly try one big play here until they get down the field.
Stacked receivers right and left. Dawson takes the snap. He hands it off to Bradley around the right end, across the 45 to the 46-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 3 yards, but he stays him down. The clock is rolling. And I don't see a sense of urgency by the Vikings to try to do anything here, which I'd like to see them come out and try to throw deep once, but they just seemed, I don't know if they're going to get a playoff. There's 11 seconds on the game clock, and
I think they're just going to go into the half, Bill.
Yep, they're coming back up to the line of scrimmage. 2 seconds, 1. And there's Bradley going around the left side, and he's just going to get back to the line of scrimmage, so just really nothing of any effect there. So kind of an interesting situation at the end of the first half. The score is 16-0. Joe, quickly, before we turn it over to the bands and everything, it's the big plays.
Yeah, it is the big plays. And, I think, but when it really comes down to it, Bill, the big play in this first half was being shut out when you're at the 1-yard line about to score, and you've got this game. You've been able to stop that powerful Mansfield offense on 3 and outs on 3 or 4 occasions, and you're on the verge of scoring and going up in this game, and you aren't able to do that. And then they come right back and score and have really kind of taken over the game since that point. That is the big play.
Momentum definitely on their side. We will receive the opening kickoff to begin the second half. We're going to leave here for a little bit. We'll turn up the outside mics so you can hear the bands, and we'll be back a little bit before the second half kickoff. For the Lamar Booster Club, this is Bill Frawley with Joe Toronto. We'll be back.
Presents the shining stars of Tiger Country, the Gold Dusters. The 2017-2018 Mansfield Gold Dusters are led on the field by their officers, Junior Lieutenant Lexi Greer, Junior Lieutenant Madison Roberts, Senior First Lieutenant Shelby McFall, and in the center, wearing the signature gold hat, Senior Captain Alexis Whitfield. The 2017-2018 Social Officers are Maddie Chokas, Julia Brown, Mackenzie Cobb, and Katie McGill. The Gold Duster of the Week is Paige Patrick. This week's faculty member of the week is Judith McGill. Tonight, the Gold Dusters will perform a chair routine to I Want You Back. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2017-2018 Mansfield High School Gold Dusters. The Gold Dusters would like to wish the Lamar High School Flag Queens good luck tonight and for the rest of their season. The Gold Dusters are proudly sponsored by Coles and Team Hudson of Keller Williams. The Gold Dusters are under the direction of Mrs. Nicole Newman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, taking the field is the pride of Mansfield High School, your 2017 Tiger Marching Band. The band is being led on the field by drum makers Andrew Arbuzov, Sherilyn Wynn, and Sarah Hale. Brass captain is Rylan St. Clair, woodwind captain is Daniel Stubbs, percussion captain is Noah Francone, and color guard captain is Ashley Wilson. The band is proudly sponsored by Dr. Rick Herman and Perth Orthodox. Tonight, the band will be performing their 2017 contest show titled What Dreams May Come. Journey with the band as we explore common nightmares, the chase, broken heart, death, and rise and shine. Drum makers, the field is yours for our halftime enjoyment. Freeway Veterinary Clinic, Dr. Schwab, DS Dispensary, the Putnam Law Firm, Handyman Matters, and Teton Construction. This week's outstanding exam members are Grace Hollingsworth, Jaden Mitchell, Alexis Gambrell, and Brandon Sanderson. This week's super seniors are Shane McBride and Skylar Alexander. The band would like to thank Principal Jennifer Young and all the fantastic administrators at NHS for their continued support. Now performing for halftime entertainment, the grand champion Lamar Bike Queens, along with our mini Bike Queens, under the direction of the Coloring Woods and Miss Portia Sims. The Bike Queens are sponsored by PDI Sign and Design, alternate agent Javier Nakara, Paul and Tony Folks, Men on a Mission, and La Quinta. The Bike Queen of the Week is Tina Lewis, and the Spirit Girl of the Week is Cassandra Loyola. The Educator of the Week is Mrs. Bishop. The Social Committee President is Itayana Nakara. Vice President Michaela Graham. Secretary and Historian Sofia Hernandez. And Spirit Leader Aitana Nakara. The Bike Queen officers are Lieutenant Jaden Beckford, Lieutenant Kelly Walker, First Lieutenant Lori Wiggins, and Captain Tiffany Owens. And now, sit back and enjoy your Lamar Bike Queen. Special thanks to our meeting Vikings for your hard work this evening. Great job, ladies. The Lamar band is led onto the field by head drum major Brooke Fitzgerald and assistant drum majors Corey Howland and Chappelle Johnson. Tonight, the band will perform their 2017 competition show, All in a Dream. Soloists are Eric Lehue, Terrence Lewis, and Kendall Feldman. The member of the week is Aditi Patel. For copyright law, video recordings of tonight's performance are strictly prohibited. half, ladies and gentlemen, North Crowley 20, Hampton 0. Also at the half, Arlington High School 35, Bowie 7. And of course last night, Martin High School 59, Sam Houston 21. 23.
Well, welcome back to the broadcast. The halftime score 16-0 in favor of the Mansfield Tigers. Joe, it was the explosive plays in the first half that did it for the Tigers, and then of course our failed drive that got down to at one point the 1 yard line, loss of yard to the 3, and then the delay of game to the 8.
Absolutely, that was the key, that failed drive, and then once that happened, the momentum turned to the Tigers, and we're going to hope that the Vikings can start off the second half when they receive the kickoff and take that momentum back, Bill.
Definitely so. The Vikings have come back out onto the field, and now the Tigers are coming out onto the field. Joe, Arlington High is leading Bowie 35-7 at the half across town. Last night, Mansfield beat Sam Houston. Martin beat Sam Houston 59 to I think 16 or something like that. Big score.
Well, what's the Permian score, Bill?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Joe, because everyone cares. Well, it's now 35-0. Permian leads Amarillo Tascosa with 6:14 to go in the third quarter. That's where the true Friday Night Lights comes from.
Support Project Celebration, our prom, drug and alcohol-free party, by test driving a Lincoln.
By the way, if anyone is listening to the game, they can get to the Lamar parking lot tomorrow between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. The Lincoln Motor Company is doing their annual Drive for, I believe, Success or something campaign, but basically everyone that takes a test drive is like $20 or $25 is donated to Project Celebration, which is the after prom party that keeps everyone safe on the Lamar campus. You come and check in, and then you, if you leave, you can't come back, but you can stay as late as like 4 in the morning. They have faux casino games and all that kind of stuff, and it's a great situation. Basically, everyone leaves with a prize, and the only way that works is with a lot of donations, and I think they can get up to $8,000 for Project Celebration if everyone comes out to do a test drive tomorrow. And it's a fun thing to do in the big parking lot. You take a kind of a mile square drive or whatever. Well, the teams are lined up. Holman's set to kick off. It looks like West and Douglas deep again for the Vikings, standing on their own 10 to 12 yard line. It's a deep kick. It's going to go back to the 8 yard line. He'll come out to the 15, to the 20, 25, 30, 33 yard line. So about a 25-yard return.
James Douglas.
And that was James Douglas that brought that one back about 25 yards. So Joe,
Douglas had a head of steam, and he just kept moving once he got that ball, and he just went right up the gut with that. And that was a very nice return out to the 34-yard line.
So now it's going to be 1st and 10. Looks like they're actually going to spot it at the 33. And we've got twins right, single left. Got one in the backfield behind Dawson. It's going to be a handoff up the middle for Bradley, across the 35 to the 37, maybe 37 and a half. It looks like he's going to gain at least, that's 4-yard gain, up to the 37-yard line.
You know, Bill, in the first half, Lamar had its best drive when they played up tempo. So let's see if they can get back to that. Maybe that'll help.
That's a good point. Twins right, single left. Dawson's back. He's got some time. He throws deep to the right side, way overthrown. Trayvon West stopped about 10 or 15 yards short of where that pass went. And again, I don't know if that was miscommunication because Dawson really wasn't under that much pressure just to get rid of it. He started to get some pressure towards the end.
Yeah, it looked like West just broke off his route on that and just did not go.
Trips left, single right. Here's the snap. Dawson, he steps back. He's looking to his left. Throws over the middle. It's caught at the 45-yard line. That'll be a first down. He's hit immediately, and that is Matthew Shaw.
On the catch. 1st and 10, Lamar.
So an over-the-middle slant pattern gives us a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
And Matthew Shaw has been his most consistent receiver in this game.
So now we've got twins left, single receiver right. Bradley in the backfield behind Dawson. Now we've got a man in motion coming across. That's Shaw. Oh, a high snap is bobbled. Dawson picks it up and he stands up and he's hit immediately by number 42 in the backfield. That's going to be Jarrett Skaggs that hits him. Jarrett Skaggs, he's, like you said, the leading sack master for the Tigers. He's the one that got that penalty for the roughing the passer back in the first quarter. But this time he was in there and took advantage of the bobbled snap and tackled us right away.
And just when you start getting some momentum, then you have a play like that. And those kind of errors are just drive killers, Bill.
2nd down and 17 for the Vikings at their own 38-yard line. Here's a snap. Handoff again for Bradley. He's going to get to the 40 to the 42-yard line.
Up the middle to the 42. Brought down by
number 44, Robert Shaw is the tackler.
Robert Shaw.
So that's a gain of about 4 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 13. They've got to get to the 45-yard line of the Tigers for a first down. Twins left, twins right. Bradley behind Dawson in the backfield. Here's the snap. Dawson rolls to his right. He's looking downfield. He throws and heavy coverage. Intended for Trayvon West. And was guarded at least by Kason McCullough Cooper.
4th down.
Kind of double there.
There were several guys right around Trayvon West, and that was a very dangerous pass by Jack Dawson.
So 4th down and 13 now at their own 42-yard line. That'll bring Dayton Dubs out to punt.
Dayton Dubs to punt.
Yeah. Trying to get the number of the man that's deep back at the 28-yard line for the Tigers. Here's the kick. Dubs gets it away. It's going to bounce at the 35. It rolls to the 30. Now it's going to roll towards the 26-yard line, and it's going to be killed there. So a decent punt, and the roll really helped us out there.
28-yard punt. Mansfield takes over 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 27-yard line.
Ball will be spotted at the 27.
Well, Bobby Brown is back out there, so hopefully he's not going to be hobbled too much by the injury that he's
Mansfield
been nursing.
under center.
Man in motion, I formation. It's a pitch back. He's got the ball at the 20, the 25, and there's a flag on the play.
I think there's going to be a hold on that play, Bill.
I think you're right, Joe. Good eye. He did get to the 29-yard line. That would be a gain of about 2. But I think you're correct. It is going to be a holding call against the Tigers. The officials all talking about it. They're pointing at the flag. Yes, that is a penalty flag. He says, should I pick it up? No, not yet. Now pick it up. Oh, it's a personal foul chop block.
Personal foul chop block
against the Tigers. So that's more important. That's a 15-yard penalty.
15-yard penalty.
Instead of a 10-yarder. And that's going to move the ball. Well, I guess it'll actually be, yes, 15 full yards. It looks like that's going to put the ball back at the 14-yard line.
1st and 25.
So that's going to be 1st down and 22. Yeah, they got to get to the 37, so it's 1st down and 22.
1st down, 22 for the Tigers.
So they come to the line of scrimmage.
From the 19-yard line.
Here's a handoff. It's going to be up the middle. He's going to be wrapped up by Bobby Brown and a couple of others at about the 24-yard line. So he'll get about 5. And 22.
32, the ball carrier, Chapman.
22, Davis is the ball carrier.
Stop.
Excuse me, 22, KJ Hawkins, the ball carrier.
Is it 32 or 20?
Well, as you can see, they're rotating their running backs in and out, and they've got multiple ones that are very good. But again, now you've got to keep your eye on Jackson Gleason because he's their big play receiver.
So it's second down and about 18 yards to go. It's a handoff. He's over the right-hand side, breaks 2 tackles across the 20. He's been ridden down, still on his feet, dragging some guys to the 25-yard line. That's Jaquarius Coleman, number 18. That's going to be Douglas is leading the tackle, I believe. So he gets out to the 26-yard line. It's third down. 3rd down and 11 from the 26.
From the 26.
They've got to get to the 37. This again is a big 3rd down, Joe.
Yeah, this is a key. It's going to be a key stop for the Vikings defense.
Twins left. Full house, or 2 in the backfield. In the shotgun, Hartsfield rolls left. He throws deep all the way downfield. He has a receiver, but the receiver didn't know where the ball was, and he was triple covered. So Gleason had the lead on all of our receivers. Had he looked around and known where the ball was, he might have had a big breakout play.
It looked like Gleason was completely turned around on that ball. He just didn't know where he was or where the ball was. He didn't know. It's sort of an odd play. But obviously it works out for the Vikings. So
Caden Hadawi, Red Huggins were down there helping to cover. He kind of looked like a center fielder who lost the ball in the sun. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, he just turned around. He wasn't oriented with regard to that play at all.
So Gleason will be punting. He's standing on his own 15. He rolls right, kicks it, and it's going to go straight down the field. It's going to bounce at the 36. It's rolling all the way inside the 20-yard line. Rolls to the 15, to the 13, to the 12. Wow. After that ball hit at the 36-yard line, it goes about 24 more yards on the roll.
Well, we saw that when the Vikings were punting in that direction earlier in the first half. They rolled all the way into the end zone. Unfortunately, this one stopped short, checked up around the 12-yard line. So, again,
a fair catch would help in that situation a little bit if we could get under it. I'm not saying he could, but anyway, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Vikings at our own 12-yard line. Trailing 16-0, 7:21 to go in the 3rd quarter. We have twins left, single receiver right. Looks like Bradley in the backfield just to the left of Dawson. Here's a snap. It's a handoff to Bradley up the middle, straight over the center. And he's going to go basically nowhere, back to the line of scrimmage, bring up 2nd down and 10.
So that play has just not worked all night long.
Aragon, number 66, 49 Sweets, both in on that stop for the Tigers. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 from the 12.
The Vikings are going to have to get a little creative, Bill, if they're going to try to move this ball down.
They are. Dawson's back. He's going to scramble now. He's rolling to his right along the goal line, and he throws the ball just before he gets hit in the end zone. That's going to be incomplete. Trayvon West, the closest receiver, but it's hard to call him the intended receiver when he was really just throwing it away.
Yeah. Dawson was running for his life on that particular play.
Wisely got rid of it before he took the sack, either in the end zone or right at the goal line. So 3rd down and 10, though, from our own 12-yard line. So we've tried to run up the middle for nothing. We tried a pass play that barely avoided a sack. Here's the snap. Dawson back. He pump fakes to the left. Now he's throwing deep down to the right side, and Trayvon West, again, short of where the pass landed. And so there is a penalty flag on the play. And it looks like it could be an ineligible receiver downfield. I believe that's what the signal is with the hand on the head. Now they're waving off the flag. Apparently everyone was where they could be. And Joe, that brings up 4th and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Well, the Vikings are going to be punting from their own end zone.
Yep, basically. Dayton Zubbs is standing on the goal line to receive the snap. The deep man for the Tigers is number 2, Corbin Frederick. He's standing on the 43 of the Vikings. punting into that wind that's getting stronger as the game goes on. Coming out of the south, which is unusual here in the fall. Several steps. It's a line drive knuckleball kind of punt. It rolls at the 40 to the 45, and now it's going to be killed at the 46-yard line by Trayvon West. So at least Dobbs did avoid the ball getting caught up in the stratosphere and not going anywhere. He took an extra step or two coming to the right, that kind of Australian rules rugby style kick, and I think did the best he could, the whole thing considered.
Yeah, that was actually not bad for the situation that Dobbs was in. But again,
about a 34-yard punt, I believe, into the wind.
Into the wind. But again, it's going to put the Vikings defense in a difficult position, trying to hold the hold Mansfield in the
single left, single right, I formation. It's a handoff straight up the middle. He's across to the 30 to the 25-yard line, and there's a big 21 more than that 21-yard play.
Brought down by number 18.
Yep, 21 yards down to the 25-yard line. James Douglas was the tackler. The ball carrier was number 21, Theo Owens. Joe, there's another big play, 21 yards on the ground, 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the Viking 25-yard line. They come out with a single receiver left. Hartsfield under center, I formation, 2 in the backfield. It's a handoff up the middle across the 25 to the 20, and he's going to be brought down at the 18-yard line.
Ball carriers number 22, KJ
That's going to be number 22, KJ Hawkins. Red Huggins is the tackler for the Vikings.
Well, they're just lining it up and powering it right now. That formation
down 3.
Screamed run all the way, and you could just tell they were just ready to just power it, and they did with that run.
There was a second back that took the handoff, I believe, and he had a full steam ahead when he came out at 2nd down and about 3. It's the quarterback, Hartsfield, rolls right. He throws over to the right and is caught at the 6-yard line, it looks like.
Pass is caught, number 44.
Number 44 made the catch, Robert Shaw. So that's going to be a 1st and goal for the Tigers at about the 7-yard line.
From the 7-yard line.
Joe, there's another big play. This is an upbeat tempo now for the Tigers.
Yeah, this has got to be the most that Mansfield has passed, in a long time, because
in any game, right?
Yeah, they just don't do this. And
well, now they've got a single receiver left, I formation, 2 in the backfield. It's a pitch back to the far back. He's across to the 5-yard line.
The ball carrier,
and he's going to be down at the 5-yard line, so that's a gain of 2. Cade Tresh tripped him up and made the stop.
On the trip up.
It was a very nice play by Tresh, getting into the backfield and getting his hands around the legs of the ball carrier.
Second down and goal at the 5-yard line. .425 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Tigers lead 16-0, and they are driving at the 5-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now it's that full house backfield, Joe, the wishbone formation. Hartsfield under center. Steps back, gives it to the fullback, number 21. He's going to be wrapped up at the 5. He pushes forward to about the 3-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 2 yards. 3rd and goal at the 3. Owens was the fullback.
3rd and goal. He was hit first by
number 21, Javante Kemp, led the stop there for the Vikings. What kind of a what kind of a goal line stand can the defense have here? 3rd and goal at the 3.
Well, again, we've got that sort of the wishbone look again, so you know that they're going to power it in.
Boy, he rolls back to the pass. He's running to the left. It's a pass to the corner of the end zone. Number 20 catches it. Grayson Tatro, touchdown Tigers.
Touchdown Tigers.
They can run anything out of that wishbone. That was a nice blue leg left. And the quarterback running to his left, which is a difficult throw, and he found his man in the corner of the end zone.
Number 20 came out of a halfback position in that wishbone, went to the left, like you say, far left corner of the end zone. Touchdown Tigers is 22-0. Well,
Holman to attempt the point after. Ellington will
and now
hold.
The Vikings looks like they had one man coming off the field. Now they only had 10, so they get one back on there. Here's the extra point attempt. The kick is up, and it's good. And so that's going to be 23-0 in favor of the Tigers. Well, the work cut out for the Vikings here with 3:33 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Scoring drive by the Tigers. 44 yards, 4 plays, 2 first downs. pass for the touchdown point after 2 minutes, 30 seconds, time of possession.
Joe, you want to tell us about the scoring drive?
In the third quarter. Tigers 23.
That started at the Vikings 44-yard line. It actually went for 44 yards. It took 4 plays, 2 first downs, and it totaled. It was only for 2 minutes. It only took 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Again, it was a short field, and that's been the story of 3 of the scoring drives that the Tigers have had. They only had 1 drive that was kind of a long drive, but the other ones have come on 3 short fields.
Yep, 3's all over the scoreboard right now. Well, Douglas and West are back deep for the Vikings, standing on about their own 10 to 12 yard line.
Holman to kick off.
Holman will kick off again.
Douglas and West deep for Lamar.
Douglas on our side on the close hash mark, West on the far side. It's a pooch kick that's going to be fair caught at the 39-yard line by Caden Hadawi.
Fair caught at the 39 by Caden Hadawi.
Good hands by Caden Hadawi. Joe, that's a guy that he was in the quarterback competition against Jack Dawson. He's a senior. He's a great defensive player. He's great on kickoff coverage. He was punting some before Dayton Dubs was punting. That's a guy that can do just about anything on the football field.
He is your jack of all trades, and he really is a contributor in all phases of the game.
Good baseball player, too. We'll be seeing him in the spring.
Dawson in the shotgun.
So, single left, twins right. Dawson in the shotgun. He fakes a handoff to Bradley. He's got some time. Now he fumbles the ball as he's about to get tackled. The ball still squirting around. It's picked up by the Tigers now, and it's loose again. And that ball changed hands and was batted around at least 3 or 4 different times.
I think Lamar has the ball, Bill.
Lamar did get it back. I know the Tigers had it at least one point, and I think the guy was trying to advance the ball. He dropped it.
Multi-fumbled.
So now the ball's at the 25-yard line. It's second down, and
they're back in Fort Worth right now, I think.
Yep, up in Haltom, up in the HEB. It's second down and 24.
Make it 24.
Trips right, single left. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle. Bradley, he gets across the 30 to the 32-yard line.
32.
And let's see, it looks like they're going to mark him at the, where will they mark him?
42.
Somewhere around the 32, 33-yard line.
Jarrett Skaggs.
Jarrett Skaggs made the tackle, number 42 for the Tigers. They're going to put the ball at the 33-yard line. So now it's going to be third down and 16.
Third down, 16 from the 33.
And Joe, they gave him every bit of progress that he could possibly have hoped for on that play.
You know that there's going to be tremendous pressure on Jack Dawson right now.
It's a handoff. He's going to come over the right guard, and he's tripped up. That's James Douglas. No, I'm wanting to say Frederick Douglas. James Douglas takes the ball around the right guard. He gets up to the 34-yard line, a gain of 1. That brings up fourth down and 15.
Well, the Vikings didn't even try to pass on that play. That was basically just an attempt to get the ball out close, further out towards the 40-yard line and get in a better punting situation.
Looks like the offensive line is wearing down a little bit as the game goes on, trying to protect Dawson. It's Hadawi punting this time. It goes up in the air and it bounces at the 41. It's going to be killed there at the 42-yard line. So Hadawi did come in to punt that time. Just earlier we were mentioning that he punts sometimes. And Hadawi stays out on the field on defense. So about 23 yards on the punt into the wind. And the ball's at the 42-yard line in Tiger territory. They'll have it 1st and 10 there.
Well, you know the defensive line is got to be getting tired because they've been out there
and on their field
the entire second half.
High formation, it's a pitch. Now he's going to fullback pass down the field, and it had a chance to be picked off, but it's caught by the Tiger receiver, and he's going to go all the way in. It was number 1, Deshaun Gaddy, went up for that ball and had a chance to come down with it. And Deshaun Gaddy He stood up and he's back down. He's injured on the play.
To number 10,
Deshaun Gaddy was grabbing his knee, and he is in really bad pain down there. Well, he went up for that ball. The receiver pulled it away from him. Gaddy went down, and I don't know if he got stepped on or twisted his knee, but he went down. He tried to get up to come off the field, and then he went down in pain. So the score now, waiting for the point after attempt, is 29-0 in favor of the Tigers. And the training staff and now Coach DeLay, I believe, is going out there to check on him. Now they've got both of his legs. I don't know. There may be a calf cramp. Yep, that looks like they stretched out a cramp, and Deshaun Gaddy's going to get up. They're helping him
Checking
up.
up on the play number 1, Deshaun Gaddy. Let's give him a hand.
Yeah, he's going to walk off a little tenderly, but hopefully nothing more than a cramp that he can kind of stretch out and walk off, and we don't want to lose him out of the defense.
And again, another explosive play, and it's almost unfair to have that trick play pulled on you at this point.
Exactly.
But
I'll say this, Gaddy did go up and make a good fight for the ball, but the receiver, unfortunately, was just able to pull it away because it was close to being an interception.
It was close to being an interception, and
Holman to attempt the point after.
Difficult
Number 70,
situation.
Brenner Stahl will snap. Number 10, Nick Ellington to hold.
So we're waiting for everyone to get set up now that Gaddy's off the field to the sideline.
So we had a little barbecue sauce by the Tigers.
Here's the kick. Play. It's up. Yeah, there you go. The kick is good.
The kick
and now
is
the score 30-0. 1:06 to go in the third quarter.
Scoring drive, 58 yards, 2 plays.
They went 58 yards in only 2 plays, Joe.
Long pass. Of course, 29 seconds on the time of possession. 1:06 remaining in the third quarter.
That possession took all of 29 seconds off the clock.
Vikings 0.
And like you say, the explosive pass play. You know, I think one of the challenges for not only the coaching staff, but the leaders of the team themselves is to keep the team up and motivated to keep fighting and not just kind of, I know there's not going to be any quit at all, but just to not get the wind taken out of them completely. Got to come out, try to score, try to just stay in this thing, you know, be competitive and stay strong as you can through the game.
Right, because there's going to be a tendency to, you know, to
Douglas
have a letdown
West.
at this point when you're down 30-0. But, you know, you've got to continue to work, continue to
kick for the Tigers.
complete your assignments, you know, fulfill your play, you know, fulfill your tasks on each play. Try to get down there, try to score. You know, use it as an opportunity to work on everything that you've been working on in practice, and you know, and use it as a motivation for next week when you're going to play.
Holman to kick off. Douglas and West, it looks like deep again for the Vikings. Here's the kick. It's a kind of a line drive low kick. It goes out of the end zone. So we'll have the ball first and 10 at our 25.
25-yard line. 1:06 remaining in the third quarter.
Thorcor pulled the Bell trailer down the track here just a little bit ago. It's some of those guys that have a lot of spirit out there. Ian Loper, Clay Pylant, Cameron Cooner, Parker Scott, Dan Dent are some of those guys having a lot of fun out there. So the Vikings come out to the line of scrimmage. Twins right, single, no twins left. One in the backfield to the right of Dawson. Here's the snap. Dawson looks. He throws immediately to the right flat. It's caught at the 29-yard line. He'll be pushed backwards. That's Trayvon West that made the catch. Number 7, Kason McCullough-Cooper on the stop, I believe.
The defender.
The ball's at the 29-yard line. 4 yards on that play. Second down and 6. Now trips left, single right. One in the backfield to the right of Dawson. It's a handoff to Bradley up the middle, straight over the center. Pretty much he's going to be stopped at the 32-yard line. So he'll pick up 3. That brings up third down and 3.
First hit by number 45, Gabe Fletcher.
So 3rd and 3 at the 32-yard line.
3rd down 3 at the 32.
See what we can do to get 3 yards and keep this drive alive. If nothing else, just keep our defense and their offense off the field. 14 seconds to go in the quarter. That's less than the play clock. The time's going to expire in the quarter, and then we'll have a break and start over at the other end of the field. The score at the end of the 3rd quarter, Mansfield 30, Lamar 0.
Is Mansfield Tigers 30, Lamar Vikings 0.
Well, at this point, you want to see a sustained drive. You want to be able to go in to, like I said, next week, being able to say that you competed all the way to the end of the game.
Yeah.
So that's, as a coaching staff and as a team, that's what you want to have happen with a quarter to go. You want to be able to say, at least, we played to the end and we executed all the way through the end of the game. So that's going to be the challenge for the Vikings going on throughout this last quarter.
And I'm very confident that's what DeLay and all the other coaches down there are encouraging the team to do. And I know there's some good leaders, some of those team captains are out there doing the same thing. Hey, let's keep this thing motivated, guys. Let's don't lie down. So as the 4th quarter begins, trailing 30-0, the Vikings have the ball. 3rd and 3 at their own 32-yard line. They've got to get to the 35. Trips left. Bradley in motion to this side. It's a pass over the middle to Jalen Jones at the 36 to the 40, 41. That's a first down, Joe, at the 42-yard line.
Yep, and there you go. We have not heard much of Jalen Jones this evening, so maybe this will get him going a little bit.
That was a nice slant pattern that he ran, and took that one over the middle. So that'll be 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 42-yard line. Keeps our offense out there a little bit longer with 11:39 to go in the game. Trips right. Here's a handoff to Bradley coming to this side around the 45 to the 50. He lowers his shoulder into the defender, and I think he has a first down at about the 40.
1st and 10, Lamar.
Right at the 48-yard line. So he got right to the yard to make 10 yards on that play.
He made a nice play. He got around the edge with a lot of speed, and he built up a head of steam and nailed the defender.
Well, Joe, our collective brother-in-law, Mel Skaggs, listening to us in Bartonville up near Denton tonight, sent a message saying good luck to the Vikings in the 4th. Speaking of the 4th, number 4, Bradley gets the handoff up the middle to the right. There's a flag in the defensive backfield. We'll see what that flag is about. It was a pretty good gain for Bradley of about 6 or 7 yards. No, more than that. Yeah, about 7 yards, but we'll see what the penalty is. It's holding on the defense. So defensive holding. It's going to be 10 yards.
10 yards from the
spot of the foul, so about a yard shy of where he made it. So they're going to mark the ball down. It's going to go to about the 33-yard line. But that's another first down, Joe.
Yeah, there we go. So there's no real quit right now in the Vikings offense. So if they can keep going and put some points on the board, that will definitely help.
So twins right, single left. Dawson's back. He's got some time. Now he's going to have some pressure. Rolls to the right, throwing way downfield. It's, oh, gosh. That's going to be a targeting if they have that in high school. If nothing else, it's going to be unnecessary roughness.
For Trevon West.
Trevon West went up for that pass.
Injury on the field.
And he got nailed well after the ball went past him incomplete. His helmet came off.
Yes. He was hammered hard.
He is on his hands and knees. I'm just going to try to get some updates so we can let you know he is, I think, moving around some.
Yeah, he's on his knees.
All the training staff and Coach DeLay are all over there. Now they're rolling him over on his back. I just want people to know he is moving around on his own some. So as he's got to be in pain, but it looks like he's able to move arms and legs. They did roll. He was on his hands and knees, kind of crouched over. Now he's on his back. There's, of course, the training staff all around, so we can't really see what's going on at this point, but it's, at least it looks like he's got movement of all his extremities. That was a tough hit, Joe.
It was a very hard hit, and he was kind of in a defenseless position when he went up like that for the ball.
Because there was a defender helping to break up the pass. This guy came from further downfield and just nailed him from the blind side. So now it looks like the head official's coming out here. I don't know if he's going to make the call yet.
He might have ejected 17.
Oh, okay. So it looks like, according to some of our folks up here, there might have been ejection. Now Trayvon West is up on his feet and coming off the field on his own power. Thank goodness he's not injured more seriously. Might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him, but he took a hard shot in the back. And now we're going to get the official call from the head referee. DeLay is asking the official something about maybe you ejecting that guy. And anyway, it's a personal foul. Targeting against the defense, and there is an ejection.
Ejected. We think it's number 17, Cameron Jones.
And so, I don't know if they call it targeting in high school like they do college, but they signal kind of a hit to the head, and they did eject the player.
Right, the ball's down at the 18-yard line.
First and 10 for the Vikings.
16 to catch up.
We have trips left, single receiver right. Bradley in the backfield to the right of Dawson. Here's the snap. Dawson straight up over the center, and again, nothing much on that up the middle. We've been having success in the running game, Joe, right or left, but not up the middle.
Right, that's just not worked all night, and Bradley had a really nice run around the edge over here.
8 of 1 yard, second down, 9.
In this drive, and but they've tried to go up the middle again, and it's just not working.
17-yard line.
Bradley came off the field. I don't know if his helmet came off or if he took it off to readjust, but once the helmet's off on the field, you have to come out for a play. Douglas is in his place in the backfield, it looks like. Twins left, single receiver right. Dawson steps back, got some time, throws to the left at the 3-yard line. Wow, what a catch by Matthew Shaw. He took a shot as soon as he caught that ball.
Yeah, there are some hard hits being delivered by Mansfield out there, but Matthew Shaw hung on to that ball. I mean, it was a nice play all the way down to the 4-yard line.
And I believe it might even be at the 3, Joe, first and goal. And I was expecting to see that ball pop loose, not because anything by Matthew Shaw, that was just a hard hit, but he grabbed and held onto that ball. Twins right. Dawson's back to pass. He throws to the end zone. Wow, the receiver became the defender there, Jalen Jones, I believe. He had to knock that ball out of the defender's hands.
Jalen Jones made a beautiful defensive play on the ball because that was going to be intercepted.
Yes. So receiver turns defender at second down and goal at the 3-yard line.
Second and goal from the 3.
And that time, Dawson was being pressured pretty quickly.
Yeah, they were in on him, and he had to get rid of it, but that was a very dangerous pass because Jalen Jones was just not.
Dawson back, he hands off to Douglas up the middle, bounces off one guy. He's wrapped up at about the 3. And so I think he gets back to the line of, he might even lose a yard to the 4.
Number 42, Skaggs.
That's where the officials are, and see where they spot the ball. And sure enough, it's at the 4-yard line, so a loss of 1 on that up the middle.
Third down and goal from the 4.
Third and goal at the 4. So we tried.
This is where they've had trouble. They had trouble before. They just cannot punch it in when they get close to the goal line.
Single receivers, or single receiver left, Twins right. Bradley in the backfield next to Dawson to his right. Here's the snap.
The blitz on the play.
Dawson rolls right, throws over the middle. And he catches it. We had to wait and see in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings.
By
Jalen Jones, again on the slant pattern over the middle. The ball was thrown so low he reached down. We couldn't make the call until we saw the official lift his arms up.
Jalen Jones made a nice play because that ball, you were right, Bill, that ball was basically on the ground or close to the ground, and Jalen Jones got his hands underneath it.
Right now there's a flag on the play, apparently.
There's a flag on the play at the goal line. They're taking it off the board.
Wow, that looks like a 15-yarder back to the 19-yard line. So I guess those points come off the board, unfortunately. I never saw any call.
An interference call against Lamar is the indication.
So
no touchdown.
Jay Ryan thinks it might be offensive interference. So now it's going to be 3rd down and goal at the 19.
3rd down and goal from the 19.
Twins right, twins left. Bradley in the backfield. Dawson takes a snap, goes straight back. He throws over the middle. It's Jalen Jones out in and out of his hands. He had to reach up for it. It bounced off his hands, but now there's a flag in the play.
Yeah, they're going to hit Mansfield for interference on that play.
Well, Joe, I hope you're right, because this should be timely, because that's an automatic 1st down. What an interesting exchange of events here. Lots of penalties down at this end of the field, and it's affecting the drive both directions.
Well, that's what it looked like to me, but we'll have to see what the officials say.
Well, they're bringing the ball back.
Interference against Mansfield.
Okay,
Mansfield is the call.
they're going to do half the distance to the goal from the line of scrimmage. Wow, no, they're going 15 yards down to the 4-yard line.
Ball's
Interesting.
going down
I
to
thought it would be half the
4-yard
distance, but
line.
I don't know the
First
rules
and
of it
goal at
well.
the 4.
Anyway, it's 1st and goal at the 4 for the Vikings after that 15-yard march off. Twins left, single receiver right. Bradley in the backfield to the left of Dawson. Dawson, no, he didn't avoid the sack. Got
Dawson
the
sacked.
13-yard line. So, man, right when we get to the 4-yard line, Jarrett Skaggs, the leading sacker for the Tigers, gets back, and now we're back at the 12-yard line, loss of 8 yards.
Yeah, it's kind of the one thing you can't do is take a sack in that situation, and unfortunately, you know, for Jack Dawson, I mean, he really almost didn't have.
He didn't have any time, yeah.
At that point, Skaggs was in on him immediately.
Dawson takes a snap, steps back again. Now he's going to try to roll. He's going to be sacked again. This time by number 9.
Hit by number 9.
And I guess it's officially not a sack because he got back to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd and goal at the 12. We'll say a gain of no gain. No, I'm sorry, it's at the 17-yard line, so a loss of 5.
Loss of 5
My bad.
yards, 3rd and goal at the 17.
They're just coming after him right now. They're dialing up the pressure, and he is not getting any protection at all.
Unfortunately, the line is not helping out. Trips left, single right. Bradley in the backfield to Dawson's right. Here's the snap. Dawson throws quickly to number 22. It's a catch at the 5-yard line.
No, 22.
That's going to be number 22, Cedric
Catch
Davis.
is good by number 22, Cedric Davis.
So now it's 4th and goal at the 5.
4th and goal at the 5.
And Joe, it looks like they're going to try to get a touchdown, not just settle for a field goal here.
Well, you might as well, Bill, at this point in the game.
Dawson steps back. He throws over to the corner of the end zone. Matthew Shaw never even turned around and looked. The ball was thrown out of the end zone. The ball's going to go over on downs.
Defender was willing.
1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 5. There's a penalty flag.
On the play. Hold it.
Let's see what this is.
Moving it back to the 10.
Now they're putting the ball at the 10-yard line. It must have been a dead ball foul because you know Mansfield would have declined that penalty if they had the opportunity. We never saw a call on that from anyone, but the ball's at the 10-yard line. Repeat 4th and goal, but this time from the 10.
At the 10-yard line.
Very interesting drive, Joe.
I did not see a call
Here's
at
the
all.
snap. Dawson steps back. He's got some time here. He throws over to the left side, out of the reach, out of bounds of Jalen Jones. And the ball goes over on downs at the 10-yard line.
Now the ball goes over.
He had a little bit more time to throw that time. No one was immediately penetrating through the line of scrimmage.
But he tried to sneak that one into the corner of the end zone right there, and he just didn't have enough room to get that ball in there.
That drive chart.
Oh, I tell you, you went 70 yards for nothing.
So now trailing, or well, I'm going to put it this way, now leading 30-0. The Tigers are going to have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
Now we're going to see a heavy dose of run plays right here, Bill.
I would think so. Just take time off the clock and see how many first downs they can get. pitch, number 25. It's going to go around the 10 to the 12-yard line, to the 13-yard line. Jaquelius Coleman. Number 5, Caden Hadawi brought him down. And Joe, there's Hadawi again. All over the place. He's moving laterally a lot.
Second down and 7 from the 13.
So second down and 7 for the Tigers at their own 13-yard line. The clock now under 7 minutes to go in the game. Tigers come up to the line of scrimmage.
Hartsfield under center.
It's going to be a handoff to the fullback. He's going to come around this side on the 10-yard line. Hadawi's chasing him. Hadawi helps run him out of bounds. Number 12, Jordan Polk, helps finish off the play. But Hadawi again, now this side of the field. That guy moves laterally all over the place.
Hadawi was definitely showing off his speed on that play.
Yes, sir.
He can move from sideline to sideline.
It's going to be third down and 5 at their own 15-yard line now for the Tigers. And it will be interesting to see if we can hold them here. We would have time to get a scoring drive together to at least put some points on the board. Tigers come up with twins left. One in the backfield, Hartsfield in the shotgun. And flag on the play, or at least it's whistle dead. Let me say that. Delay of game against the Tigers, and that's going to back them up back to the 10-yard line. It'll be third and 10.
Third down 10. The result of the penalty from the 10-yard line.
.6:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. Now the Tigers come back to the line of scrimmage. One receiver out left. Hartsfield under center, I formation. Fake handoff, rolls to his left. The pass is complete to number 21, who gets across the 25-30, 35-40. Still in bounds, it looks like, to the 50-yard line. Jordan Polk finally brings him down at about the 50-yard line. I thought he was going to drop that ball at first, but he kept it. It was low, and he made another 30 yards after the catch.
Yeah, he just kind of snuck out into the flat, and he was open, and the quarterback hit him, and
40 yards.
He was off to the races after that.
Jordan Polk wrapped him up somewhere around the 43, 45-yard line. And that guy Owens dragged him another 5 to 7 yards, but Polk didn't let go, didn't break the tackle. But the Tigers have the ball first and 10 at the midfield stripe. 5:52 to go in the game. Timeout called by Mansfield as they want to, I guess, regroup and see what they want to do here on this drive. Well, some updates here. Arlington High leads Bowie 42-14 early in the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter, Arlington over Bowie 42-14.
North Crowley leads Pascal 27-0 midway through the third quarter. And the Astros lead the Yankees 3-1 in the bottom of the eighth.
Top of the eighth, Astros
Top of the eighth.
3, New York 1.
Joe, you're a big Yankees fan, aren't you?
That would be a negative, Bill.
Here we are back to live action. It's going to be a handoff to the fullback, number 24. He gets across the line of scrimmage to maybe a 1-yard gain to the 49-yard line inside Viking territory.
Into Viking
Just thought I'd see if I could catch you off guard at all, but you were not going to let that one go.
Yeah, I've hated the Yankees ever since I can remember.
Connecticut boy, halfway between New York and Boston, right?
That's correct.
But if you're outside of New York, does that automatically make you a Boston? Was everyone in New England a Boston fan?
No, I mean, there are a lot of Yankee fans in Connecticut, but...
Connecticut Yankee.
Split.
Single left, single right. I formation, pitch to the fullback. He breaks a tackle back at his own 45, but he gets hit again at the 47. So that's going to be a loss of about 4 yards. Cade Tresh was the one that finished off the tackle there. So they got him at the 48-yard line, so a loss of 3, but that'll make it 3rd down and 12.
Loss of 3.
Nice play by Cade Trash.
At the 48.
Another baseball player, by the way, in the spring, along with Caden Hadawi. Plays catcher. So at their own 48-yard line, the Tigers have to get to the Viking 40-yard line to get a first down. Here's a handoff to the fullback. He's going to get to the 50-yard line. A 2-yard gain. That's going to be 4th and 10 at the 50, and they're going to have to punt. Number 58, Simone Foster, made the tackle.
Making the stop. Ball's back to the midfield stripe. Into punt, Jackson Gleason.
So Gleason will punt. Now, right now, Joe, we don't have anyone deep.
No.
And I don't know if they're watching for the fake or what they're going to do here, but we don't even have anyone back there to fair catch. He rolls, he does punt, and that's going to hit at the 25-yard line, and it goes, fortunately, it doesn't make much of a roll. It only goes to the 22-yard line. So that's about a 28-yard punt. Joe, I think we're fortunate the way that ball bounced. It didn't continue rolling further towards the goal line.
Yeah, we got hope. Well, we got helped by the wind and by the way that the ball, by the spin on that particular ball.
Yep.
Fourth quarter, gentlemen.
So 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 22-yard line.
Thank you.
Twins left, single right. Dawson takes a snap, handoff to Bradley, straight up the middle. And they're going to give him 1 yard on the forward progress.
Gain of a yard.
The tackle was made by number 82, Zadavian Williams.
Zadavian Williams on the stop.
So 2nd down and 9 for the Vikings at their own 23-yard line. We have Twins left, single right. Dawson looking for the play from the sideline. Goes back to the huddle with the rest of the players. Bradley in the backfield to Dawson's left in the shotgun. Now we've got Davis in motion. Dawson throws to the pass. It's Matthew Shaw to 25 at the 30. Oh, and he is like bulldog down out of bounds by number 4.
Miles Williams pushing him
Miles
out of bounds.
Williams.
But he picked up the first down.
He got the first down. That was a little extra throwdown outside the line of the out of bounds line,
From
I
the
thought.
32-yard line.
But it's 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 32.
That's that sort of pick play, Bill, that they use where a receiver comes in motion and takes out the man that's supposed to be covering
Dawson's right.
the other receiver, and they get the ball to him and
Dawson
get a
takes
little
the
room.
snap, goes straight back. He's throwing straight downfield. He's got Matthew Shaw open, but he overthrows him.
For Shaw.
Matthew Shaw was just about a yard in front of the defender there, number 4, Miles
Williams, the defender.
But the ball was overthrown, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 at the 32. Waiting for the play to come in. We've got a single receiver right, Twins left. One of those is number 85, Quincy Williams on this side, along with, I think, Jalen Jones. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to Bradley up the middle. He goes across at 35, pushes his way to the 40-yard line. Joe, that's the biggest up the middle run we've had all day, I think.
Exactly.
So we went 8 yards on that up the middle run, probably 8 times better than most of them. So it's 3rd and 2 at the 40-yard line. Twins left, single right. Bradley in the backfield with Dawson. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to Bradley up the middle. Dawson gives him the ball, gives him a little extra push for momentum. He gets across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Wow, Joe, 2 up the middles in a row for 15 total yards, I think, thereabouts. And a first down at the 46-yard line.
Number 72 and
2:08 to go in the game. The Vikings on a drive here. Let's see if they try to get the ball down and score, or just keep it out of the hands of the Tigers offense. Twins left, single right. Dawson takes a snap, throws to this side. Jalen Jones catches it at the 48, breaks some tackles across the 50, 45, down to the 40 to the 39-yard line. Joe, tell us about what you saw.
Jalen Jones made a nice play on that because he was dead to right. He was stopped dead to rights, and he just spun out of that tackle and just willed his way down to about the 34-yard line. 39-yard line.
So big gain there. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the Tiger 39-yard line. Yeah.
At the 39, 1st and 10, Lamar.
Twins left, single right. Jalen Jones comes in motion. It's a handoff to Bradley. He goes to the far side. He's trying to find a way. There's a flag on the play. It's going to probably be holding. And Michael Bradley gets up to the 35, but this is probably going to come back, either a hold or an illegal block.
Yeah, unfortunately, the blocker just could not get in front of his man and was behind. He got behind him and held him, and that's how Bradley was able to get to the outside.
So that 10-yard penalty puts the ball back at the 49-yard line. 60 yards in penalties for the Vikings tonight. And it's going to be 1st and 20 at the 49-yard line inside Tiger territory. They've got to get to the 29-yard line.
75 against Mansfield game today.
75 yards in penalties against the Tigers. Here's the snap. Dawson straight back, has some time. Now he's under some pressure. Throws to this side, but throws it out of bounds. Matthew Shaw, the intended receiver, number 13.
2nd down and 20.
Z. Levy was the closest defender there.
Yeah, he was under heavy pressure, and there could have been a holding call on that particular play as well, because the Tigers were bearing down on him, and the offensive line was doing everything that they possibly could to keep them off of Jack Dawson. 2nd and 20 at the 49-yard line. Dawson steps straight back, throws a little bubble screen to the Bradley. You believe it is at the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He's in the end zone. No flags. Touchdown, Vikings.
49 yards out.
49-yard play, Joe. That was a little just short screen pass to the tight end position, if it was a tight end, I guess.
Yeah, it didn't really look like it was going to get very much, and then Bradley just took off and used his speed to get down the sidelines, and then looked like it was going to. He looked like he was going to get caught around the 5-yard line, but he made a nice little juke move to get into the end zone.
So
49 yard. There's our explosive play. We're on the board.
Dawson to hold.
Villegas out there to make the point after kick attempt. I believe it's 30-6 is the score. The kick is up.
Flag on the play.
The kick is good. There's a flag on the play. Penalty was offsides or something against Mansfield. That's going to be declined. So I believe the score is 30-7. I think it was 30-0 before that.
Scoring drive by the Vikings, 78 yards, 5 plays, 3 first downs, 49-yard pass run, 3 minutes, 2 seconds, time of possession. Tigers 36, Vikings 7.
It's 36-7,
35 seconds remaining in tonight's game.
So that scoring, yeah.
So it is 30-7. Sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
No, that's okay.
For the Tigers.
That scoring drive was a total of 78 yards, and it started on the 22-yard line, and it was culminated with a 49-yard pass, and it took 3 minutes and 2 seconds.
See you there, Viking fans.
Well, Joe, I like it. We didn't give up. We fought all the way to the end of this game to at least get some points on the board. 35 seconds to go. The 49-yard pass play. That is showing the old VFND, Viking Fight Never Dies.
Yeah, and it's going to give Coach DeLay something to talk about with the team, and he's going to be able to use that as motivation going into next week. And so that's what you want to see from your team. And they certainly played well in that last drive, and now let's see if the defense can just hold them again.
Let's see if they try to pop an onside kick just for the heck of it or something. Oh, the ball comes off the tee. So, oh, it's not even on a tee. He's got it like a watermelon crossways to the field. So he is going to try something interesting here. Kicks the ball. It's a pooch kick to about the 34-yard line. It goes out of bounds. So that'll be a flag because it rolls out of bounds.
Flag on the play. Ball goes out of bounds.
Well, that negated the big return.
It did. Whatever play that was, I would take that out of the playbook.
Kind of reminds me of the old dodgeball. He's blindfolded. That means he's not going to be able to see. Stating the obvious there. So, 38-yard line.
10, Tigers.
Is where the ball will be.
35 seconds remaining.
1st and 10 for the Tigers. Are they going to throw downfield, or are they going to take the knee and go, going into victory formation?
Well, I would hope you would not throw downfield at this point, but I've seen that happen.
Another school in this area that begins with an M that sometimes has done that. They're going to take the knee. Hartsfield under center takes the knee. And that will do it because the play clock at 40, the game clock at 28. The officials holding the ball. The team's already coming in midfield for the
ladies and gentlemen.
shaking of the hands.
Mansfield Tigers 30.
The final score is Mansfield 30, Lamar 7, Joe. I'm so glad they had that big play and drive at the end so that they were able to get on the scoreboard.
Absolutely, that was a great play, a great way to end the game. An unfortunate, loss, but you've got something that positive that you can take from that.
Definitely so. Next week, we travel over to Wildman Field, across town, the other AISD stadium, to play Bowie. Joe, you remember last year we were broadcasting here when we played Bowie, had that big 30-something-0 lead at halftime, blew it. That basically was one of the backbreaker games that took us out of the district race. I know DeLay is going to be working on prepping for that game. Bowie's not as strong apparently as they were last year, but like Coach DeLay says, you never underestimate anyone and you respect everyone. You don't fear anyone and you respect everyone. So,
right. Right.
So, with that, it's 30-0, Mansfield over Lamar. Mansfield, strongest team in the district. Lamar played tough. Unfortunately, some drives that couldn't get pushed all the way in, but they finished strong with 7 points at the end.
Absolutely, it was a tough game, but unfortunately, the very good team. They went up against a very good team, but at the end of the game, they came back, scored, and that's what they're going to have to take from this and move on and try to do what they can against Bowie next week.
Well, this broadcast has been brought to you by the Lamar Football Booster Club. I'm Bill Frawley.
I'm Joe Toronto.
And Jay Ryan is our producer. Tim and Darren are our spotters and statisticians. We want to thank everyone. We will see you for the next home game broadcast. It will be in about 2 weeks, I believe. We will keep you updated. Watch the website, LamarVikings.com and LamarNation.com. We'll see you then. VFND.